What's up, buddy?
Yo, what's up, boo? That couldn't have been better timing. I just updated the Twitch title as well.
Oh, the timing is impeccable.
It really was. Very good. So
Just
how
got
you
both
doing?
the kids down, and nice to kind of sit down and relax now.
Nice, dude. Let me go ahead and get your volume adjusted a little bit. Oh, that should be good now.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on too. Really means a lot.
It means a lot for you to be here, man. So yeah, everyone, this is Boohoo You. He is, I think, pretty successful in the game, if I've heard correctly. Maybe not. Maybe that's just a rumor, but very happy to have you on. So I wanted to start with, like, what got you into Entropia and how long you've been around in the game.
Oh, so actually, I started really young, like young teenager. My dad came home one day from work in like 2015 and was like, or excuse me, 2005. Yeah, 2005, 2006, and said, "Hey, there's this game that some of my coworkers are playing, and let's check it out." So we downloaded this game, and the rest has been kind of history since then. So I've played from 2005, 2006 to 2013 as a non-depositor.
Oh wow.
And then 2013 is when I made my first deposit. I bought my ranked HK 1750, and I bought it from. It's crazy enough. Remember Chong all the way, the dude that like.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he was the dude that like dipped out on Forma Cicada land area.
Yeah.
I bought it from him actually. But yeah, so then played from again, 2005, 2013, made my first deposit. And then I played until 2018 ish, 2019, and I took about a year ish break. And then that's when some friends over at the time, Crimson Blades, convinced me to come back into the game, and then I've been playing ever since then.
Nice, man. So does your dad
Yeah.
still play? You mentioned that you started with him.
No. So he actually got really upset, I guess you could say, that I was doing so well, and
Oh no. There's a bit of
so he was,
rivalry.
yeah. So he was actually like putting money in and like starting to craft and all that.
Yeah.
And then I mean, it's no secret. Everybody knows while I am a hunter, I also do a significant amount of trading. And that's how I've been as successful as I am. So back then, I actually was in a society because I was so young when I started playing the game. I legitimately had somebody pull me inside. Was like, because I'll be real, like I was begging, and I was like, hey, got free pet or anything like that. And this dude pulled me aside. He's like, hey, if you do that, you're not going to be successful in this game. He's like, who's your dad? Does your dad play? And I told him who my dad was, and then that individual actually he's who got me into trading.
Okay.
And I started doing commission sells for him, and then he brought me into society. And I started like doing like commission sales for them, and slowly started getting my foot into the trading game through them.
Nice.
And then I also did a bit of mining too back then. I started up a mining business.
Did you do like contract mining for other people?
Yeah, so I had this huge. This is before like Little Big Miner.
Okay.
And I had like this huge like printout of the map, and I had like in different colors on the map, like different end matter and ore,
Oh wow.
and, like where I found them and all that. So crafters
So you were
would
mapping,
hit me up.
like before mapping was a thing, kind of.
Yeah, like old school, like literally like this. I remember it clearly in my head. It was like this piece of cardboard that I had printed out, like the
Oh,
actual
wow.
map, and it was probably like 3 feet tall. It was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so then I did that for a long time, and then I actually started up a blueprint business as well. So in the time of me doing a lot of trading, met a lot of crafters, and I worked a deal out with them where I wasn't asking them to pay me for my services. I was just asking for all of the blueprints that they would normally TT.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so I took all those blueprints that they would TT, and then I built what I called was blueprint starter packs. And then I would sell these blueprint starter packs for an absolute killing.
Nice.
And that's kind of how I rolled until I did that first real big deposit.
I think I had a similar experience. I mean, it wasn't as long non-deposit for me, right? But I did a little bit. I didn't do the blueprint starter packs. I wasn't that creative. What I would do is I would go to Twin Peaks prior to even knowing that like a Cali trade chat existed, and I would buy Rubios for like 30-40 peck and then resell them at Icarus for 70 to 80 peck. And I had a similar situation where someone pulled me aside and was like, hey, this is kind of shitty behavior, and I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know. But that's cool. It sounds like you got some really good advice from a tenured player, and you kind of found your niche, right? So that's awesome.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I owe them a lot. Met a lot of really good people along the way that have helped me out a lot in different ways, and it really goes back to that first society. And actually, if you look, Calypso, I can never say the second name right. Calypso, like Camerans or something like that. There's actually a teleporter named after it.
Okay.
And that was our society. Yeah, E, Chili, and Lenny LL. He kind of still played a little bit. I think he's recently stopped though. He was in Hunters Unlimited. Ended up moving there.
Okay. Nice. It's cool to hear that he's still around though. That's cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, I gotta go back to my pre-prepared questions because I'm running out of material here. So, I guess you got some advice early on, but what would be some of your own advice that you could give players that want to become successful in the game?
I would say that bankroll management is probably one of the most important things in the game.
So what do you mean by bankroll management? Like every ped has a name and budgeting, or?
So for me, again, I'm a trader, but I also hunt. And so what I'm about to say is going to sound really, really big, but you also have to remember I'm hunting bigger mobs than the average person, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I personally will not hunt unless I have a minimum of 100,000 ped for hunting.
So when you say 100,000 ped, because there's a difference, right? With like ped cycle versus like liquid ped upfront to begin hunting. You're talking about liquid ped upfront to even begin?
Liquid ped upfront to be without even like beginning. Like I will have 100,000 ped on my ped card basically.
Okay.
Or that I'm working with cycle. And the reason for that is, now again, I know that number sounds very, very intimidating, but you also have to remember the mobs that I've been specifically targeting right now range between anywhere between 15 to 20 ped per kill.
Yeah.
With my setup. So as a result of that, I'm going to see significantly more loot swings. And then the other thing too that's important to think about when you're looking at this is, especially now is like nano cubes are the best thing that MindArc has done, right?
Yeah, that's been an amazing change, by the way.
It's huge, and it amplifies the importance of having a healthy bankroll. So now, like I was saying, is if you're going to go out and hunt, let's say a creature that has, that takes like 1.5 ped or 2, 3, even 5 ped to kill, you don't need that large of a bankroll. But the important thing is that you have enough bankroll to continue to cycle, but also to continue to take everything that you loot and either stack it up or sell it. Because that's the way that you're going to be successful with hunting.
Yeah.
But then also having, again, kind of like I was saying, how I have my trader, I also have my trading bankroll. And I do not touch my trading bankroll for hunting. And I also do not dip into my hunting bankroll for trading. They're two completely separate pots of money that do not bleed over into each other at all.
It sounds like 3 actually. Like you've got 3 different, basically revenue streams, I guess is what you could call these. Like not necessarily like things that are making you money, but like you've got 3 different, in theory, ped cards, right, that you're working with.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. I mean, I've never really thought about it that way. I just have my pet, and my pet's my pet, and I do everything out of the one card. So that might be some advice even I could take, honestly. So,
It's really big. And then, I know everyone like says like, hunt within your means and all that, but really it's not hunt within your means, it's hunt within your ped card.
yeah,
Because the reality is like your ped card is your means, right?
right.
Uh, um so, being able to kind of take a healthy look at like how much ped you really have on your ped card, and then pick a mob that kind of fits within that ped balance.
Gotcha. I
But
mean,
yeah,
it makes a lot of sense. So,
it's like a huge key, man.
so when it comes to like profiting or losing long term, I'm assuming you're long term in the profit.
Um, yeah, I've been relatively successful in EU.
Okay, because actually that was something another person wanted me to ask you. So I wanted to put that in there, and it's up to you to elaborate if you wanted to. I'm not gonna push for that. But it's your call if you wanted to elaborate how successful. But
Uh,
okay, that's fine.
I have, let's just say, I have put no more than $25,000 into the game.
Okay, that's not bad.
That would be, unfortunately, I wish I could deposit more. I truly do. Like I love the idea of like opening more boxes than I do. But I've put in about $20,000, 20 maybe, yeah, like right around there, $25,000 into the game. Um, and I have used Entropia to supplement my income for many, many, many years. Um, so
Nice. Okay. I think that kind of says a lot too, right? So if you become this successful and like you could just scan your avatar if you came across, and you've got way more than that in assets now. So that's awesome, man.
yeah,
That you can see. I'm sure there's a lot that we can't, but that's awesome, man.
yeah. I mean, just off of like my gun alone is worth more than I've ever put in the game. So it's pretty cool to see. It's fun though. It's fun to like continue to like build up your avatar, and also to kind of like not only build up your avatar but also make those friends and watch them build up their avatars too. It's pretty cool.
Right, right. So I know that you mentioned that you're definitely in favor of the NanoCube update. Is there any other like ideas that you have? Like, let's say for hypothetical purposes, someone from MindArc just happens to be listening to this conversation. Do you have any ideas that you would want, or like improvement suggestions to that MindArc you might want to share with them?
I would love to see a crafting overhaul, and this might be an unpopular opinion right here, because I know that like, there's a lot of people that have a lot of money invested in high-end weapons. I'm one myself. I own a BC 120. I spent 500,000 ped, liquid ped, on a BC 120.
Holy shit! Wait, what?
Yeah, I spent 500,000 ped liquid on my BC 120,
So
and
you're saying there was that much liquid ped at once? Oh my god,
yeah,
that's
I've got a
crazy.
screenshot of it. I've got a screenshot of it
Do you
because
mind if we put that on screen on the stream?
I've never shared that screenshot publicly because it hurts my soul when I look at it.
Okay, all right. Well, that's fine. We don't have to do that then.
But with that being said, is I mean, I'm really happy I did it. And the other thing too is that's not fair to anyone though, to come into this game and to feel like they're in a position where they have to spend that kind of money on a gun. I mean, even look at like your entry level guns right now, like your BC 30s, your LP 40s, like LR 60s. All of those guns are around like anywhere between five to, well, I guess your BC 30s are a little bit less than that, but anywhere is like $5,000 to $10,000. Like that's for like your entry level gun that isn't gonna really break you into those profitable tiers. I mean, you can be profitable, but it's a different level of profitability. And no new player should come into the game and feel forced to have to do that. So if
Right.
there was one thing that I would do is I would do a crafting overhaul. I would love to see a crafting overhaul, and I would also love to see every single Loot 2.0 gun that's in the game have a crafted version of it. Like, I want y'all to be able to craft a BC 120 Fen and to be able to try it out and see how you like it, to see if it's something you want to move to. Or those mod nanos, like I want those to be crafted. Your BC 80s, like, let's be real, like AR matrix weapons kind of suck.
They do.
A
lot of them are like within the 60 to 70 range for
Yeah.
efficiency. Yeah.
So I'd love to see, like, the individual that kind of comes through and, maybe can't cycle, a significant amount of ped to justify having a significantly large investment. Let them have the ability to get these good Loot 2.0 weapons without, breaking the bank. So that would be my big thing.
Yeah, I think, I'm sorry, I got distracted with the PM. So,
No, you're good.
oh, I forgot what I was going to say. So they did implement a little bit of the limited weapons that were like the perfected limited. But when I saw these, I was like, oh, finally, we have some of the, like what you're describing. But the markup was so insane, and the drop rate was so low that even if you went out and hit like a massive multiplier, you were never going to make your investment back on the limited gun because it just wouldn't last long enough.
Yeah.
I think I was talking about the RDI perfected handguns that you could make. But it just, I hope that it also becomes more available, en masse. And like you said, some people don't want to commit to it because they haven't been able to try it out. So I think if they were able to try it out, they would be more inclined to purchase it.
Yeah, I mean, it's to sit there and commit $10,000-$15,000 to go out and get a gun that you've never been able to try. Like, if you take these limited guns, you can run enough through these limited guns to get an idea of like, hey, this gun could be a good fit for me. This gun could be a good fit for my playstyle. Perfect example, melee.
Yeah.
I would die if I had a hunt with melee weapon full time. Like,
It's rough.
Oh my gosh. Like, I love the idea of it. The skill gains from melee weapons are amazing, but the running and getting stuck on everything and, mobbing everything and having to use a tagger.
Getting swarmed in mayhem sucks. Yeah. So I have another topic if you're ready.
Yeah, sure.
So I think I view you as fairly neutral to most people. I mean, you've already said that one of your vocations is a trader, so I believe that you have to. What's some of the more diplomatically difficult situations that you face in the game?
PvP
PvP
is one of the hardest things. It's such a bummer because I love PvP.
You're speaking to my soul now, man.
I do, dude. It's so much fun. Outside of EU, I play primarily PvP games. And I do. So like, for example, for a long period of time, I was playing Destiny 2, doing recoveries and carries in Trials of Osiris, and getting paid for it on the side, and doing like comp carries and things like that. Like, I love PvP. However, in Entropia, oh, so you're gonna fight Rainy over here, I see.
She's coming for blood, bro.
Yeah, dude, she'll win though. There's no doubt about it. She'll beat me.
She carries you, right?
All the time.
She's
my number one carry partner. Well, I mean, she carries two people, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, PvP is really difficult in this game. And it's kind of a bummer because, like, let's be real, the PvP system in EU kind of sucks, and the players kind of make it a little bit worse, because there's just always a lot of drama that's kind of dragged around with PvP, and a lot of egos that kind of get into it, and it's just a bummer to see. Like, if we look at some of the biggest feuds in EU, most of them have stemmed around PvP, and it's really unfortunate.
Definitely.
I hope that we get to a point in the game where people can show up to PvP4 and like realize like, hey, you're going into a PvP4 area, you have a chance of being looted, and if they get looted, like they get looted, and they don't like whisper you,
Oh yeah,
and
I've got I've got like a whole, basically a whole scrapbook of fan mail is what I regard to it as, and it's not as toxic as other games. Like I played Rust. I mean, good grief, you talk about an armpit of a game. But
yeah,
yeah, it's a little bit. It runs deep in Entropia because you can't just make like a new account. You can't just change your name. Or not saying that I would like to. I'm just saying that like people don't forget or forgive here as easily.
yeah.
They tend to hold grudges, and a lot of turmoil can stem from it. So I get what you mean. It's not as easy as I just want to like put on some PvP and then go back to being cool with this person tomorrow. That shit just doesn't happen here. So
I mean, it always starts off that way. Like it always starts off that way of like
yeah,
at the end it's GG, and then
yeah.
you know things happen, and it's just
People start whispering around, rumors get circulated, and then all of a sudden, yeah, you're on the wrong side of the fence somewhere.
yep.
So
And it's a huge reason why I have completely distanced myself from PvP. Fortunately,
yeah, and that's sad when you have to choose between two different things that you enjoy about the game. You know, so what's been
yeah.
your
But
biggest regret so far?
oh
We can come back to that one if you need to.
yeah, let me think on that one for a little bit.
Sure, sure. Have you ever fallen victim to a scam, and do you have advice for how to avoid being scammed?
So I am pretty lucky. And I have actually only fallen victim to a scam one time in my Entropia career, which is pretty incredible. For those who know me, I operate very, very much on a trust-based system. So, for example, right now I have a little over 300,000 ped owed out to me in debt through trades.
Oh wow.
Uh, and I because like I do believe largely the EU community, we have a really good community, and people want to be honest and want to be
Respected.
like yeah. So and kind of like something I said earlier in the game, like one of the things that I enjoy the most is I love watching people grow their avatars. It is one of the things that I get the most enjoyment out of. So as long as I know the individual, and I have a sense of a feeling, like a gut feeling on the individual, I almost will always offer payment plans on any trade item that I have. And I have a relatively big policy on, like, I don't push people for ped or anything like that, because people are, for the most part, people want to be honest. So
Yeah.
going to your question though, the one time I did fall victim to a scam was back in the old day with the, I don't know if you remember how like ships used to work for like taking like ships up to C and D.
No, that's
Where you
before
were,
my time, unfortunately.
dude, so it used to be you had to like, there was pilots were super like respectful to each other. Not saying they're not now. It was a different kind of dynamic because it wasn't like, as easy to run these warp services. So pilots would literally stand in a line. A pilot could only bring up like, I think it was like 4 or 5 people at a time. I think it was 4 people, to CP and C and D, Club Never Die at the time, now known as FOMA.
Hmm.
So pilots would literally stand in a line at Twin Peaks, and you would get in a team, and then you would physically run to their hangar, and then when you were at their hangar they would add you in, and then you would sit in the aircraft, and then it would kind of like rumble, and then you would magically be up at C&D or CP.
Hmm.
And so what's a really, really big thing to do was to check the terminal to make sure the dude who owned the ship was actually like the correct dude. And so there was one time I was kind of in a hurry. I was up on C&D, and I was looking to get back down to Calypso, and I wasn't paying enough attention, and the dude scammed me. I got complacent, and I gave him, it was like 15, 20 ped. But the problem was I had just lost all my ped because while I was a non-depositor, I also really, really enjoyed gamble mining. So I did almost all
Oh,
of my mining up in C and D back then. So my happy ass got stuck in C and D for like
oh,
2 weeks,
holy crap.
sweating. I was I got stuck, I got stuck sweating in C and D until
Well,
I
I
could
was about
convince.
to say it's not that bad. You know, it's just
No,
like 20 peds, but
it,
that's 2 weeks as a non-depositor. Oh my
uh,
god.
it took. I had a sweat, and I ended up convincing. Ah, shit. I can like if I saw his name, he still plays the game. Freeman. He owned a shit back then. I ended up convincing him to take my sweat to bring me back down to Calypso because I got stuck.
Oh, that's
Yes.
bad.
But outside of that one time, I've been pretty lucky, and
That's great.
yeah. But with that, always be careful of who you're trading. Remember that all trades are final, and while you think you can trust somebody someday, some people just change, unfortunately, and it's never like I guess a piece of advice is never ever make a deal that you're not willing to lose on. So like if you're gonna loan somebody something, basically consider it gone, or be prepared not to have it, because you always run that risk. So that's like one of the most important things I think to take away from that like this part of the conversation is never loan something that you're not willing to lose.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That's a good approach. I think that's, kind of the way that I've approached the game, but in terms of monetary, deposit. Like I never put money into the game that I didn't consider already kind of a wash or didn't
Yeah.
mind losing to begin with. So I think as long as I mean, yeah, it would still suck, if I lost a big ticket item, but it's gonna suck less knowing that was kind of like my play money, that I put in over 7 years. So
Yeah.
yeah,
There's
good
some
stuff.
things that hurt. There's definitely some things that would hurt to lose.
Yeah. Um, so would you mind joining me for a little bit of a hunt before you go? I wanted to
Yeah.
also scan your avatar and ask what your current hunting setup is. I think you already said you have a BC 120.
Yeah.
Maybe that's still around. I don't know. You kind of move a lot of
No,
gear around.
no, so the BC 120 is one thing that I've kind of stuck around with. Oh, sorry, I can't type in.
Oh, you're good.
Um,
And people in the chat, feel free to ask questions too if you have them. Sorry, I've been neglecting on responding to people in chat. I've been listening attentively. Oh,
so
crap.
the
There we go. I can't make your window small, so
no, it's okay.
there you go. All
All
right.
right. Oh, nice. We're like right around it, room from each other. So,
I'm just doing Exarasaurs, and I'll get you a team invite.
okay. Um, so the question was my hunting setup, right?
Yeah.
Is that what we?
Yeah.
All right.
What do you use?
So I'm very fortunate to have been able to work myself up. And so my main hunting setup is actually Mod Shadow.
Mod Shadow. Okay.
Yeah, and then I also own a BC 120 Fen. And then I use Christmas Ring 20, Summer 20 is my main like ring combo.
The most
Um,
OP combo.
Yeah, I do though have my Christmas 22 Summer 20 combo, because that combo is amazing.
Which one
So like
did you say? Sorry.
here I'll send you the link to it. It's
Okay.
it's a lifesteal combo though, so for the most part I can solo anything in the game. And this particular combo enables that for like, so for example like Molsibers, I'll use a Christmas Ring 22 Summer 20 combo, and it allows me to hunt them without a healer, relatively easy.
Oh, okay. So
Um,
this maxes out your lifesteal
yeah. And then
and
what
your crit
else?
chance as well. Wow, this is actually a really nice combo.
It is a very, very nice combo. The only bummer is that you lose that critical damage.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you still net 15, but yeah, not as much as it could be with the 2020, right?
yeah, and that's why I tend to use the 2020 as like the Christmas 22 summer 20 combo as my main ring setup. But when I'm wanting to be lazy is when I use that. So one day though, I will buy that new Cyrene outfit, because that child of the
Oh, dude,
what
the
is
suit? The suit.
dude, it's the ugliest thing, man.
No, okay. Oh, wait. Which one are you talking? I'm talking about the suit from Cyrene, the one that's like the blue skin suit that looks insane. That's like 10K.
Yeah, that's what I want. I've been trying to buy one for like 7,000 ped. Eventually I'll get one, or they'll come down in value. That's about how much it costs to actually make it. But yeah, I only want it for the run speed though, so I can't really.
But no, I agree that the burn victim suit on Monreal looks like ass.
Yeah, it is horrendous.
Thank you for the follow, Rainy, by the way. I really appreciate it. So we've got a few questions in chat if you want to take them now, or we can. Okay.
Yeah.
So Paint Ghost asks, what was your first big loot, and what was your most memorable loot?
Oh man, so my first, there's a couple here. So there's two really memorable loots. And then actually, I don't know. That's a good question. So I remember my very first global ever on Treasure Island. I hit a fourth Nexus. It was like 100 ped. I was so happy.
Was
oh my gosh!
Just a global.
It was just a global, man. But
yeah.
Like, I remember literally running to my dad and like telling him like, Dad, I got this global. Like, it was huge. Like,
yeah.
It was amazing. So that was big. And then I remember the next one was my very first mining tower. No, it wasn't a tower. It was just it was just a Hoff, but it was just shy of a tower. And it was so funny because I remember it was a guy, his name was Ant, and he was mining on C&D, and he was like, hey, this dome is hot, and he's like, you should come in here and drop some probes. So I came there and I dropped some probes, and like the third probe I dropped, I hit it was like 3.9K or something like that.
Holy shit, nice.
So that was another like really memorable. Another really memorable one was an Easter Ring 2017. So there's a story behind this though, because I didn't realize I looted this Easter Ring 2017. I have no clue how long this ring was in my inventory. And because so for me, I have this weird, because again, I can't open very many strong boxes. So I have like a method of what I use to open strong boxes that has been relatively successful for me. I've looted probably about 7 seasonal rings doing this method.
And are we gonna get into that, or is that top secret?
No, I have no problem sharing it.
Okay.
So I'll get there here in a second. Yeah. So anyway, so this Easter Ring 2017, I remember it clear as day because I went to work. I had a really, really bad day at work, a really, really bad day. And I remember staying at work until like 2 or 3 in the morning. And then I came home, and I knew that when I came back to work the next week, that my supervisor was going to yell at me. So I started looking at all the. Oh, 1 second, pardon me.
You're fine.
Sorry about that.
Oh, okay, I was gonna talk to chat, but you're back. You're all good. Go ahead.
My daughter was yelling for me.
Oh, all good. And by the way, King SO9 said congrats on the second kiddo earlier. I forgot to.
Yeah. Hey, King, it's been a long time, buddy.
Sorry to distract you constantly. I feel like I'm
Nah, man. Okay. Well, I got. So anyway, so I got home, and I remember like I started reading my company policy to like find a loophole of basically of like how I was fine to work when I was working, right? And then I was just so upset. I logged into EU, and I was standing in Arcadia after after leaving a key instance, and I remember looking at my inventory and scrolling down and being like, "What the fuck? What is this?" And I hovered over it, and I saw it was the Easter Ring 2017, and then um, yeah, uh, so I ran upstairs. You can see Rainey she made a comment about it already in chat. I ran upstairs and I woke my wife up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and she like wakes up in a panic, like thinking something's wrong. And I'm like, "You're never gonna believe what happened." And it was I looted this Easter Ring 2017, and that was huge for me because
Yeah, that's
I
insane.
I sold it for 45,000 ped.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I sold
I
that
would
ring
wake
for
my wife up over that too. Like that
I,
would
yeah,
happen.
I didn't even know how much it was worth at the time. Like I sold it for 45,000 ped. I'm relatively confident if I remember right, it was Danio that bought it actually, and and um and then I used that to buy a Cali Trek Spirit, the Mark II, off T-Bana, and
Okay.
that was one of the best purchase I made. It was Brady said still pissed. Um, and then I guess
Sounds
there's
like my
another
wife.
like yeah, oh dude, like Rainy, like on a side note, like mad props. So if for those in the chat haven't figured it out already, Rainy is my wife and my partner in crime, and like the best things ever happened in my life. And I'm really, really grateful for her because she not only puts up with my shit, but she also puts up with my Entropia shit. Because one of the things that, while we kind of talked about trading a little bit, is that what the side of trading that people don't see is it kind of becomes a 24/7 job. So there are times like where I have to wake up really early or late, stay up really late to kind of hit people in different time zones to do trades, or, people will call my cell phone and wake me up through WhatsApp because they need help on a trade, but they're in a different part of the world and it's daytime for them.
Yeah.
And Rainey puts up with all that. So no, Rainey's the real MVP. But yeah,
Well,
so
I'm happy, and I think like to speak to that, my wife had a reoccurring nightmare before we got married that I was going to miss the wedding because of land grab. I shit you not. So, that sounds very familiar. So
I think having a supporting partner is, it's important. And
it really is.
because like I'm going off on a tangent here,
No, you're fine.
or kind of digressing, but like, so I actually talk about like all of my, because I think it's entropia is an important thing, and I've said it already, like I don't make that much money outside of the game, so that's why I don't deposit into the game. I can't afford it. And I do use EU to offset things in my income. So like for example, when the BC 120, like that whole thing came up, my wife and I, like, that was a decision we made together. And I explained to my wife, like, hey, by me buying this, like these are how things are going to change. Like I'm losing some of my toys that I could immediately sell. The other thing too is the way that I have to play the game kind of changes a little bit as well. And so that was a conversation that we had together. So I think it's really important
choice.
to include your partner in those kinds of decisions.
Definitely. And I had the same, I've had similar conversations where, I have to justify, anytime that we, like me and my wife have a rule of like any dollar value over that amount, we try to confer with one another just out of respect, But like I've had to talk to her about some moves that I've made in the game before, so I totally understand.
Yeah, I think it's just important part of being in a healthy relationship. Yeah.
Definitely.
So plus it also helps, like she so my wife used to play a little bit, but the reality is I can't afford for two of us to play, so so she doesn't play anymore, and so, but it's nice that she understands the game, because like I can have like legitimate conversations with her, and because that, or she's just really good at faking it. But nah, she pays a lot of attention, so she, like a lot of trades, like I'll bounce things off of her and just kind of see what she thinks, and she helps me make a lot of good choices.
Nice, man. That's awesome. I don't even remember what we were talking about before we got on this, to be honest, but this is fun.
It was The super good at faking
Oh,
it. It was
the Easter 17, and then you had sold it for 45K, I think. That was
yeah.
like your biggest loot and your biggest, or your first global and like your biggest loot. So
Yeah. So there was actually one more really, really memorable moment.
okay.
And so this is a big hit actually. It was really awesome. So there's another video game that I play with a buddy. And him and I we don't play games much together anymore, unfortunately. But he's still someone I keep in contact with. Well, anyways, he flew out to my house one day and spent some time with me for my birthday. And and so I was telling him because I was getting really back into Entropia really heavily, um, and uh, and so I was telling him about mining and the game and all of that. So I flew up to C&D or FOMA, excuse me, and I was like, yeah, man. So this is high risk mining, and I grabbed like a big amp and I grabbed my finder and I went out mining and I dropped some probes and I just did like a quick like level. I think it was like a level 7 amp run or something like that, and I hit a Hall of Fame, and I was like, oh cool, because it was a really bad run,
Yeah.
and it was a really bad run,
Yeah.
and that Hoff, I was like, oh sweet, we hit a Hoff, and I looked down at the chat, and at first I thought it was like 370 ped,
Mm-hmm.
and then I started getting like Grats messages. I was like, what the fuck? People are messaging me over 370 ped. All right, I guess that's what we're doing today,
Yeah.
and then I look over at the claim and I see the claims at tower, and I literally said to my buddy, I was like, man, when did they change the threshold for towers? And then I look again, I'm like, oh man, because at that point I thought it was 3,700 ped. Then I look again, it was actually a 37,000 ped hit.
Holy crap, man.
Yeah, so
huge.
that was needless to say, my buddy started playing Entropia after that.
Yeah, 37K. Is that your biggest loot so far?
Yeah, that's actually my biggest like ever hit.
Wow.
Uh,
You got me beat by 22K. I think my biggest was recently at 12.5K on a Warlock. That's
if you look
insane.
like I think my Entropia life is hidden now, but if you looked at it beforehand, right? It was actually really depressing, like my mining, because I've done a decent amount of mining. I played the first handful of years in EU as a miner, but my hunting or my mining hits, it's like 37K, and then it drops down to like seriously like 500 or 600 ped for like, and then it goes like, I think I have like a hit of like 198 ped or something like that is in like my top 20 mining globals ever.
Man.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
But
At 37K though. Phew,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
That's funny. And that delayed reaction kind of makes it even funnier. So
I'm embarrassed to say it took me like 5 minutes to realize like what actually happened.
I mean, I think like the same thing happened on the video that got me into the game that I saw. Like we did it with swords, and he didn't realize how big it was. He thought it was like a 7K.
The Prophet.
Yeah. Well, Prophet was healing on that video.
Okay.
He still plays, but he was one of the healers. He wasn't one of the hunters. But he said he got a pretty fat tip from it. I don't know how much. Maybe I'll get him on here for the next interview. We'll see. But it looks like King asked, what was your longest wait on a deal for a trade? The longest amount of time you've waited to move an item, I guess.
Ooh. So what you're saying is, what item did I buy that I regretted buying?
It took you the longest to get off of you, I guess. Yeah. That's how I interpret it anyways.
Let's see.
It's gotta be like a healing tool, I bet, or something like that. I heard healing tools don't move that quickly.
Nah. I've actually haven't had too hard of a time moving healing tools. Granted, I generally drop them a little bit faster than I want to.
Drop them in price, you mean?
Yeah. I would say probably man, there's been a handful I guess I guess one of the hardest things for me to sell is rockets. And I'm not saying that because I happen to have like one rocket that I'm actually trying to sell, but I
Sure.
feel like rockets are one of the most difficult things
Yeah, they really are.
to sell. And I have this tier 7 rocket that always ends up back to me somehow.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I
uh,
have no idea where that came from.
Yeah, but I mean, whether it's a tier 6 rocket or a tier 7,
Yeah.
like I end up with those a lot, and I always tell myself I'm not gonna take them again. But then I would get like that itch of like I want to get back into PvP.
Maybe I can steal
And
rockets, yeah, and stuff, yeah.
yeah, so I would say rockets are like one of like the hardest ones, and then the other thing though, like this isn't necessarily something that I can think of off the top of my head, but as a trader, it's something I stay away from is armor, specifically female armor.
Female armor
I,
sets.
oh my gosh, it is one of the hardest things to move, female armor sets. I hate, like I will, even if like I know that I'm going to make money, I will often turn down trades if they involve female armor sets.
Is that because there are fewer female avatars in the game, so like your base is smaller? Because I would think that your client base for purchasing a rocket launcher would be even slimmer. Because most rocket users are PvP guys, right?
For the most part, actually, weirdly enough, so I have a lot of people that aren't necessarily PvP guys that hit me up and want rockets for one reason or the next. But I don't know, man. It's just like I think it's a mixture of, you know, there not being like too many, and also remember I've moved to the point where I generally deal in like higher end items.
Yeah.
So you know,
I mean, you're not moving, sets of adjusted pixie all day, so.
yeah. So like for example, right now I've got a set of like female mayhem armor that I'm helping somebody sell, and it's just been a very, very stagnant, like it's been just very stagnant.
Yeah.
So yeah, female armor is a pain in the ass.
Interesting. So learned a little bit there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what was the pro box opening strategy? Someone just reminded us of. Thank you, by the way.
I don't know if I'd say it's a pro box. It just happens to have been lucky for me. So
let's hear it.
I mean, so we all know, like, you know, everything is on a wave. Like, it's no secret, right?
Yeah.
So basically what I do is when I open boxes is I open them up very slowly. And it is annoying as hell. So before, because I don't remember, like, I guess it's been a little bit since. Anyways, so basically what I would do is I would open them up primarily on the web shop, which if you didn't know, you can actually do it from your cell phone. Log into the Entropia website, and you can open up boxes from your cell phone. And basically what I would do is I would open up 10 boxes every 10-15 minutes, and then I have a rule that if I loot 2 things of universal ammo back to back, I stop. So let's say, for example, I open up my very first box and then it's universal ammo, and I open up the second box and universal ammo.
You're done.
Then I'm done. And then I wait 5-10 minutes and then I try again. And I just keep doing that.
So you're basically looking for things that are, I guess, wave indicators within the boxes? Like
essentially, yeah.
Okay.
So like if I loot
pills or anything?
Specifically, like the couple like little things that I look for are like other rings. Let's say, for example, I loot like an augmented whatever ring, right?
Yeah.
Or a improved ring. Then I'll open up no more than 10 more boxes, adhering to the double
universal.
Yeah. And then the other thing in that as well is the other one I look for is 10-hour 100% pills. Like those are like the two ones that I look for where I'll open up additional boxes at a time. And so, like I said, so I've looted a handful of seasonal rings using that method. So maybe it's just dumb luck, or maybe I'm onto something. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense though, because if you get like 2 of the, I don't know, basic loots in a row, maybe you know that you're in the middle of a dry spell, you know, you're at least making it last longer. So your odds of hitting a wave go up. Like, let's say that you have 100 boxes, and it takes you 10 hours to go through those 100 boxes versus someone who's just sitting there spamming it within 5 minutes. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
just as an example, but
that's the thought process. Now, I will admit it is so easy to just, especially now, like with the new changes, you
yeah,
can just literally hold
like
spacebar.
screen share actually just before this stream on Discord here. The new changes, because I haven't opened boxes. I haven't deposited in about a year now.
Nice, congratulations, man. That's huge.
Thanks. Yeah, next month will be 1 year. So really excited not to have to pay anything else for now. So we'll see how long the rentals last, but fingers crossed. But yeah, that's awesome. It's interesting, and I think like that's something that I've seen was like people who search for wave indicators across mobs. I've seen a lot of people just tune into Twitch streams to watch loot come in, you know.
Yeah.
And then they'll hit a mob for a little while, and then they'll go back to basically crafting or something else. But it's interesting to watch people. I'll say that. So.
Yeah. I wish I was that smart. I'm not. I just, you know, keep going, brute force. I mean, I do believe wholeheartedly in the. I know like Eve and Messi, like people make fun of them on PCF. So this is why like I don't really post on PCF very much because it's just.
It's a sludge fest. Let's be real. It's a cesspool.
Yeah, it's gotten pretty bad. So I don't really post too much on there. But one of the things that you see, like specifically, like Eve and Messi make a lot of comments about that I believe wholeheartedly in is, you know, just keep shooting. And like the game doesn't want you. Let's be real. Like the game doesn't want you to quit playing. Like they don't want to take all your money. Like people think that, but this is not really the case. It just goes back into like that conversation we were having about like bankroll management and hunting within your means. You know, the game wants to balance you out. So if you're on a downward streak, you know, figure out how to kind of stretch your pet out and get through that wave or that downward swing, because you know the game wants to balance you out. You always will get balanced out. You know, you'll always get balanced out, not to necessarily 100%, but you'll get balanced out to enough where if you're selling things for markup, like you can be successful in the game.
I think that's some pretty good advice too, you know, because I've had a lot of people who kind of get in a rut, whether it's with hunting, whether it's with mining. They're like, oh, I'm so far down and can never recover. And it's like the 90% of gamblers quit right before they were about to hit it big, you know, and like that picture of the guy who's mining and right before he's about to hit diamonds, he gives up and goes back. And then there's the guy that's like coming in to mine to the diamonds. There's like an old meme about it, or like a picture. Maybe I could find it and post it later, but
oh, I think I know which one you're talking. Yeah,
but it's like right there before you were about to hit, you gave up and turned back, you know. So not that you should just, you know, bet your house on something, but I think there's some truth in what you shared for sure.
Yeah, and like I said, it goes back into that bankroll management. Just you know, if you've got 10,000 ped or 5,000 ped, you know, hunt something that's kind of within that means where you can get a lot of different loot instances to get that payback.
Yeah, kill smaller stuff for a while, and I think that's like something that I've enjoyed lately, was just killing smaller stuff. I got a global on Cyrene the other day with just the Barbella. It's like 47 pet or something. So I mean, if you hunt even noob stuff, you can get pretty good hits for, you know, relative to what you put into it. So
yeah.
Will this interview be posted as a VOD somewhere? I'll consider it. Probably not though. It's like if you're here, you're live, you get it. If not, then you don't. I'm out of questions, man, by the way. So if you just want to hang out and chat, I'm cool.
Yeah. And by all means too, like if anyone has any questions offline, like, you know, feel free to hit me up on Discord, Nelson86U, or you can find me like on the Entropia Life or Entropia Universe Discord. I'm a relatively open book. That's my Twitch handle. You can find me in game boohoo you. You know, I'm a relatively open book. I've been around the block a little bit, and
you actively mentor people.
I no longer actively mentor people.
Okay.
Um, I just can't commit to the time that I would like to dedicate to individuals. Um, and so as a result of that, I no longer actively mentor. But I am always willing to do what I can to help other people succeed. So
Nice. Really
yeah.
great. And I mean, I'm kind of the same way. I started out mentoring people, but as my real life sort of got more hectic, I had to kind of let that go. Um, awesome. I appreciate you making yourself available like that for people. And yeah, if you guys join the Discord, he's around here as well. In the Discord server, I can post another link real quick. Maybe one of the mods has. I don't know, but
Yeah, yeah. I get around a little bit. You can find me. But you
so
wanted to shoot some shit on a side note?
yeah, we can go shoot some shit.
Let's go do that. I'm
All
just
right.
using like this. Do you have the? Do you have the? Can you use this? I'm gonna shoot you something so I can get you if you want a little bit more of a DPS.
Oh, don't tempt me, bro.
Well,
Just
we'll see. It's a
when
random.
Paint Ghost come with us, he'll be our cannon fodder.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, I saw you with this earlier. No, I'm below Sib quite a bit.
Uh,
But sorry.
no, you're good. I actually just picked this up. So
Fucking crazy.
well, okay, so I wanted a melee weapon, right? And so I really wanted a melee weapon, right? And so I'm like looking at all my different options and whatnot, and like I don't know how much Lunchbox actually sold his like sparkling Unity dagger for,
Yeah, I saw it. I
but
saw that he sold it though. I don't know how
I
much
think
though.
I heard anywhere between like 210 to 240,000 ped. Uh, and and so I just like I can't justify that much money on it.
Hmm.
So I was able to get a Great Claw in a trade, and when I compared the Great Claw to the that Sparkling Unity, um, I I mean it was a no brainer. I spent 130,000 ped on a tier 5 Great Claw, and I'm really happy with it. So
That's a very cheap
um,
weapon for what it is, man. I mean, almost what 101 DPS, 83.4% efficiency.
yeah, I mean don't get me wrong, it's not as good as a Sparkling Unity.
Because I know you were
Um,
mentioning that you were wanting to get into a melee option there for a while.
yeah,
Some side
yes.
chats that we were having, I think. So I'm glad to see that
Uh,
you picked up something. That's nice, and for
yeah,
pretty cheap from what I hear. So
I mean I for Great Claws it was definitely a fair value
okay,
based off of like the way that
they're
Great
just not
Claws have
popular
traded.
because of the high level.
Yeah, they're kind of hard to skill into, and there's really nowhere to go after it. Like so it's
Yeah,
just not a very desirable
like a
weapon.
dead end weapon. Yeah, at least with
Uh,
long blades now you have the mod nano, right?
yeah, and everybody can dream about getting Messi's dagger. So
Yep.
uh
Yeah. At least I
and
couldn't even use the damn thing, so I don't know about you. So
I can use it, but I mean using it and being able to actually like own it are two different things.
yeah, I saw that he was posting it for sale for a while, but I didn't know if it was actual like, you know what I mean, like if it was
I,
like kind of phishing or if it was actually like, yes, this is legitimately for sale. Please come to me for offers.
I mean, I think it's legitimately for sale, but it's he wants a decent amount for it. And respectively, it's I mean, arguably, I would say that that is the best weapon in the game. Like
Yeah,
that is the only weapon that I would sell my BC 120 for
I
in
mean,
the
I
entire
was
game.
I was a little put off by how close the twin long blade was to the unique reaper, but how drastically far apart the short blade was to the sacrificial dagger. Like that had me a little butt hurt, to be honest. I mean the unique sacrificial dagger is still heads and shoulders above any other weapon out there right now. Like it's in a league of its own. So what are we hunting, by the way? Sorry to digress.
Whatever you want, you name it, we go hunt it.
Zombie Kong. No, I'm joking. That's a little bit too tall of an order, I think. We'll stay on planet. Let's go for uh let me look at my codexes. I'm gonna be selfish here. I'm gonna choose based
that's
off of what I need codexes for.
that's cool.
We do Chirpy? No, I'm joking.
Eh, yeah, I know. We gotta convince somebody to do a wave event for us, or like
A dev
like
spawn.
dev spawn. Yeah, that's the way to go. Like get them to come out and do some like sync
I've got some. I've
entities
got
and all that.
some live supports. I could maybe. No, they can't. They don't have powers like that, do they?
I don't know anymore. I can't keep track of what people can and can't do.
I don't know. I always got told that the live support guys don't have the god mode. So.
We need better friends.
Yep. I guess we could just go dump some pet into some DASP or something.
Sounds good to me. I'm always down for some DAS.
Maybe get
How
some
big?
vacuum fluxes. We did do the youngs. I mean, there's no real like loot difference that I found. I'm gonna go North Hangar A. There's no real loot difference that I found between the youngs and like the big guys. So, as far as like items that drop, maybe your experience has been different. But I've gotten like full TT limited Sentinel. I've gotten ESIs, vacuum fluxes, just the same on the youngs as I have the olds, or I'm sorry, stalkers. So there's the waypoint that I'm at. Put my armor on here. And I don't have my 5Bs on me, so I'm going to be a little weak.
You'll be fine, man. Do you want to borrow some?
No, I'm fine. Don't spoil
sure?
me like that. Yeah, I'm fine.
All right, because I have the AUG 5Bs in my inventory that you can use.
No, you're good. You're good. I should be fine in the incision plates.
Yeah.
So Paint Ghost, I guess, is going to be the cannon fodder, added DPS if he wants, I guess, and general assistance for healing.
I don't know if I told you this. I picked up the not the one that Zoe looted, but the next island FAP, the Mark III.
How much do you charge for back rubs?
Oh, Rainy asked that, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
Yeah. So for you, Rainy, you just to wear something nice.
She might be hinting that this DASP hunt might not be lasting that long. That's
not all. That doesn't last that long. Ding!
Oh my god. Oh.
Nah, but let's see here.
I feel that. So congrats on the twin drop, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, get that over on Rocktropia, didn't you? Tell us a little bit about that.
Fuck, man, that was insane. So,
do you feel like you deserved it, or do you feel like you were lucky?
Dude, I mean, I feel like anytime anyone loses anything in this game, they're fucking lucky. Like anyone that, I don't know, in my opinion, anyone that comes and says like I deserve this or I'm owed this, they're probably not owed it, and they probably don't deserve it.
Okay.
So
that's fair. Yeah.
So nah, man, I'm super grateful for the fact that I was able to get that, and it's just I still can't believe it. Like that was a huge loot for a single item, and it is such an awesome PvP weapon.
Have you tried it out?
Not in PvP 4. I took it out to like the rig one time for fun, but
nice. That's awesome, man. So are you selling it? Are you keeping it? Like, what's the deal with it?
So I have a deal worked out with a buddy, and him and I own it together.
Nice, dude. Okay.
Yeah, so it worked out where because I didn't. The reality is like I wouldn't use it enough to justify keeping it.
Yeah.
But my buddy couldn't like really afford it, so him and I, which is something that goes against. Ironically, I'm not a big like co-owner fan, so it kind of goes against my co-owning bit. But with him specifically, it'll be alright.
We've gotten offered for a 2350 healer, but I think we're okay right now, Granima. Thank you. What's except for Might Angel, Hoobler? And thank you for being the moral support, Paint. Really appreciate it, man. I feel better already.
I know that I'm safe. Let's see.
Go up. There goes my moral support, man. I don't know what to do now.
Man down.
So, do you have a strategy for looting twin weapons like you do for opening boxes, or are you just dumb luck?
Just dumb luck.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, if
Just
you
wanted to
find one
see.
of those out, well, let me know.
Yeah, yeah. I'll share it with the class for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just gonna follow Lunchbox around.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. Just be like a lap dog for Lunchbox. Has he only gotten the one, or has he got multiple ones?
He's at 2 now. Lunchbox is at 2. He
Oh,
looted
really?
yeah, he looted a dagger, or not the dagger. He looted another sniper. And then he also looted the whatever the Siren one is.
Oh, which one is that? I don't know.
The BLP rifle that's kind of like the BC-80.
BC-80. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
The one from
I don't
Siren
have.
that I saw was the long blade.
No, it's, that's Toulon.
Oh, you're right. Oh my god. Yeah, you're right. Okay. There's that one that I'm forgetting it, but yeah, I know it's the one that you're talking about. Like, I can't visualize the stats in front of me, but I know what you're talking about. That's insane.
Yeah, no.
What's he cycling with?
He's using the M81 or M91 AUG.
Okay.
So it's like the laser version of the BC-120, just not as efficient, not as high DPP either.
Okay.
Just really the same DPS as the BC-120, really.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's a pretty sick weapon.
Hoobler says, disguise yourself as a sandwich. The lunchbox will never notice.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Glinting Unity. Yeah, you're right. Thanks, Gopher.
Ah, yes, thank you. That's a nice little weapon. I think they did pretty good with the twin weapons. Like the Planet Partner twin weapons are pretty nice. And then
that lovely, lovely person, whoever it is, was able to give us the information ahead of time in Discord. That was crazy.
Man. You talking about the Saint, the fuck I can't remember. There was a good like nickname that I heard floating around for him, but yeah, no, that guy is pretty awesome.
Yeah. That's pretty good stuff. But no, I really agree. Like the twin weapons have been nice, except for the long blade. Fuck the long blade. I just say that because I own the Reaper blade. It's competition. So.
Oh man, I mean, the thing though is, like, let's be real, like yours is tier 10.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long time before one of theirs.
Anything right now.
Yeah. Oh man, I sold tier 3 components, or I think it was tier 3 components for like over 1,000%.
Yeah.
At one point, it was insane.
So many people are trying to tier up their stuff right now, and I mean, it didn't help. Like Mayhem just rolled through, and it's crazy how expensive it is to tier things.
So he's using this one. Okay, so thank you, by the way. I don't even know who the fuck this is, but whoever you are in chat, thank you for the link. So yeah, he's using the augmented M91. This was the one that Angel looted.
Yep.
Is it the same one?
Yeah, so to my understanding, he either worked out a deal with Angel or bought it off Angel. I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
But that's what he's been using.
This was on Angel's account for a while. Obviously for extenuating circumstances, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But I was talking
about that.
yeah. I mean, that's for later in the stream for the after party. So I remember talking to somebody because there was information found on some of the weapons not looted yet that aren't twin, that are at 0% efficiency, and I was like, well, wait a minute, because I remember this gun when it dropped from the Spider being at 0% efficiency. Remember that? It was like bugged.
Yeah.
So there are unreleased, undropped items that have been found in the game's data from, I guess, the mobile app or similar whatever, that are at 0% efficiency. He's like, oh, maybe they won't drop because of that. I'm like, no, that's not what that means, because that M91 was also at 0% efficiency. So yeah, just a little tidbit for you. Sorry to derail there.
No, no, yeah, yeah. I was trying to remember. I think it was G Jack Bam. The dude was like in G Jack Bam stream and telling a bunch of like stats of weapons beforehand. It was pretty crazy.
That's wild, man. I wonder if that's the same guy.
I don't know. I'm assuming so,
Yeah. I just know
but
that the Discord account was fresh. Like he was smart about it. He didn't put his like name out there. So
yeah. I mean, I respect the dude because the
yeah.
reality is like people have that information, and it's nice that he made it public for the masses to see in a way that protected his anonymity,
Mm-hmm.
and but also kept
Made it an
people on the
equal,
same playing field.
yeah,
Yeah,
an equal playing field, exactly. Because there's no telling how long certain individuals have leveraged that information. You know,
or
because
oh man, for years probably at this point. Like it's
probably
crazy.
because there would always be people that would like sell stuff at seemingly just the right time, you know, and make the right move. So now it's like, oh, maybe they were, maybe they were in.
Yeah,
But it's just hearsay at this point. But yeah, I mean, there's also been theory crafting of like, well, maybe you could get an auction bot through the mobile app and all this kind of stuff. So there's no telling the extent of the legitimate vulnerabilities that they brought up or have been brought to light from this. So I think it's
yeah.
very, very good and very productive if Mindark allows to treat it that way. So
Can you actually do like auction house from it? I've actually never
yeah.
used the mobile app before,
So
so you can
it's called Virtual Tycoon. You can download it. You can actually emulate BlueStacks on your PC and download it on your PC. I think that's probably the way that the guy divulged the information from the files. But yeah, it's like you can access the auction. It's not good. It's not great. It's pretty ass, to be honest. But it's something. I used it a long time ago, back when I worked at Mercedes, and I would craft explosives from my phone while working.
That's kind of cool.
I like how Mindark didn't even announce what weapons were in the loot. With Finn, they did. Yeah. Well, Finns
Yeah,
were also in a vendor. These are looted like from mobs naturally.
I definitely think like Mindark took a different approach, to to this event. I'm not sure how much of a fan I am of it, but because like I like what I liked about the
I think everyone won, and it had added markup from Finn because you had the tokens that were tradable. And
yeah,
everyone could loot the tokens and then sell the tokens, even though they didn't have the weapon at the jackpot at the end of the rainbow, so to say.
that's like there was markup for everybody.
Yeah.
That's really what I liked. And now it's just kind of like, who gets lucky and happens to be in the right place at the right time, kind of a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It
So-
seemed like they shared the love a little bit better in the Finn, because I was around for Finn. I mean, I wasn't as big. I probably couldn't have cycled, for the platinum tokens like I could now. But yeah.
Oh man, it's crazy to watch like character progression and see like if you think about like how far you've come as a character, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, definitely. Like there's been moments like that stick out to me. Like the first time I ever owned and held an IMK2.
Yeah.
And I remember just drooling over that gun as like a new player who happened to scan, I think it was Foodle at Ashy, So just to know that I can actually have items like that. And now the fact that I own the Reaper's Blade, which is like one of the biggest unique weapons in the game. I'm sorry, Paint. I'm a bad friend.
Switched over.
It's kind of surreal in ways,
I remember like I'm trying to think of how to say like what I want to say next.
Take your time.
I remember when I was a newer player, like I'll use this one, right? I remember the day Buzz Eric Lightyear added me to his fucking friends list. Literally, I remember the day, man. It was such a big deal to me. Like, I remember going to my dad because I was young still. I literally remember going to my dad and be like, "Dad, you'll never believe it. Buzz added me to his friends list." He's like, "Buzz Eric?" I was like, "Yeah, Buzz Eric Lightyear added me to his friends list." And now, like, I talk with Buzz like a peer. Like, it's,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and I have like good conversations with him. And
Yeah, Buzz is cool.
you know, and then, you know, there's other people too. I don't mind saying this one, so I'm sorry if you don't want me to name shame people, but this one I will. Divinity. I remember when I first learned about Divinity, and like I looked up to Divinity, and now I think he's a fucking snake.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think that's also like comes with the territory, right? Like you live and you learn and you observe, you know, and that comes with maturity in the game, you know. But
yeah,
I've had some idols that fell too, so.
Yeah, and it's just like it's just kind of crazy to see, like, you know, like all of these people that, you know, I remember looking at like Joda's avatar and be like, "Oh my god!" And yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But good times, man.
So we actually still have a question tabled from before. If you had time to mull it over.
Oh yeah. What was that? The biggest regret?
Your biggest regret so far in the game. And if it's applicable, if you can't, it's not a big deal. But we've covered a lot of the highs, so.
You know, one of my biggest regrets in the game actually is breaking off from Soldiers of Fortune to form Crimson Blades.
That might, I don't know.
Yeah.
That might need a history lesson, but yeah, no, I get where you're at.
Without going like, you know, because I mean, it's not something like being real, like not something I want to dive too far into.
Yeah.
Just because you know, there's some scars there that aren't fully healed. You know, that was was like 6 years ago, and those scars still aren't fully healed. But that's probably one of my biggest regrets, because I saw a group of good friends kind of get torn apart. And you know, I still talk with a lot of people from that circle, but we're not nearly as close as we used to, and it kind of makes me sad, for real. Like it really makes me sad.
Yeah, I think like I might translate that towards giving up PvE for PvP, you know.
Yeah.
And I think like I going back to like who I was prior to joining into the PvP circles, right? Because like I said, you kind of choose what side you're on, and that's the side you're on forever, you know, when it comes to PvP. And I'm sure like what you said, you've experienced it a little bit too. You know, it's looking back on who I was before. Like I was totally neutral. Could have remained neutral. Could have been friends with like everybody on both sides, you know. But
yeah.
I think that's probably one of my regrets. It's not that PvP has been a regret. It's just like being pitted against half of the other bigger group of players who also enjoy PvP.
Yeah.
So,
like I said, I hope we get back to a point in the PvP world where, you know, like land grabs can be fun again and things like that. Like, and I'm sure, like, you know, both, you know, any society that participates in land grab, you know, wants it to be good again. So, you know, hopefully one day Mondart takes a little bit of time and spends a little bit of time with PvP, and you know, makes it fun again.
So what other games do you play besides Entropia? I know you had mentioned Destiny before.
Yeah, Destiny. So actually, my wife and I recently, over the last like 3 weeks, have slowed down on Destiny. I basically just play EU now. I'm pretty busy. You know, I
saw you go for that.
Dude, I didn't know it spawned for both of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking quick fingers, you.
I'm an oil rig picker, dude. Like you gotta be fast. You gotta wake up early in the morning.
Yeah, no, I need better coffee. Wait, what did you ask? I forgot now.
Oh. What did I ask? Oh shit. The
So,
yeah, I got
something
distracted with
about
the fruit.
No.
Destiny. Like
Oh yeah. So
the
yeah. Oh
games
yeah.
that you play.
Yeah. So basically, I only play EU now. Like I was playing Destiny a lot. Just kind of got burned out of it, and I've got two little kids. I work full time, and I'm going to school as well for my master's right now. And
Oh, nice, dude.
my kids are also really busy, so I don't have as much time for games as I used to. So I enjoy how laid back EU is, and so that's where I primarily focus my time now. So I've also found like a really good group that has within EU. So I'm in the society end game, and it's nice because I'm with a group that they're constantly like pushing me and challenging me to get better. So it's nice kind of having them to motivate me as well.
That's awesome, man. That's good when you have a really solid, uplifting peer group in the game.
Yeah.
That's probably what I missed for a while, because like you can kind of get there's a lot that you absorb from other people, whether it's good or bad, positive or negative. So I'm glad to hear that in game is working well for you.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Seems like a tight little society. Not many in there, right? Like only about 5 or 6.
I think we're 7 now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, because
So-
Yuzuki joined.
Oh, okay.
Um,
So is he your most recent addition, or she? I don't know.
Yeah. Yuzuki is our most recent addition to the society. He's been he's been great.
He kind of
'Cause
popped
we
up
don't-
out of nowhere on people. Like,
It-
I saw that he's
he's-
been around though for a while.
Like if I could recommend someone for you to do an interview. Actually, he did an interview recently with DME too.
Really?
Yeah, he did.
I think people were mentioning that I should try to get him on here and get to know him and
He's-
interview him.
Yeah, Yuzuki is he's a good dude. He's like I think Yuzuki is like a poster boy for EU, like in the sense of he's he's somebody that came into the game and didn't just come in the game, deposit $100 and start shooting. Like he did his research. He spent a lot of time like analyzing like the forums and all the public data that's available. And then he very quickly started trying to align his goals up to become a successful player, and it shows. Like he's accomplished. Like I can't even believe how much he's accomplished in the short amount of time that he's played the game. It's incredible, but it's also incredible to see like from like us. We're like like at the end of the day we're old school players, so like when we skilled up it was different. Like we didn't have codecs and all of that.
Yeah.
It's incredible to see how quickly new avatars can progress their characters with the codec system.
Oh yeah, it's insane, dude. But yeah, I'd been interested in getting to know him. I think there was a little bit of conversation around, I mean, I'll just call a spade a spade. There was a little bit of conversation in one of my previous streams with like him getting the twin item, like seemingly like he just left Cyrene, first few mobs that he kills, and people are like speculating and all that shit. I'm like, well, if it had been a guy like me who was already known, you guys probably wouldn't have a problem with it. So I think there's a bit of that like old school mentality, kind of like you said, well, you weren't here and you didn't go through the same shit that I did, so there's gonna be a little bit of that, and there's gonna be a little bit like, who the fuck are you? Are you like a new avatar? Are you someone's alt? So like I think even Roar66 has suffered from that too, where he's been accused of being alts and stuff. So that's any new player's struggle that's new in the game, right? But
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that he's a good guy though. So
Yeah, dude, I'll be real. Like, if I didn't know him to the extent that I do, I would have guessed he's an alt. Like,
yeah,
just
I think
because
it's easy for people to make that assumption, right?
well, he's so fucking smart. So
He's quiet as fuck too. Like, there's hardly anything on him. Like, as far as like,
if you haven't checked out his thread on PCF, it's an amazing read.
Okay. Did he submit for a thermos?
Nah. It's just
dang.
he's got his whole story like it's not like his story, but like he's got his whole like tracking log from like day one to now.
Oh
And
wow.
it's one long thread with like all of his hunting results, and he talks about gear transitions and why he does different things, and he's very transparent. Yeah, it's a good thread to check out. It's where I point like if anyone that I talk to talks about like playing the game.
Oh, congrats,
Um,
Paint. Damn, he just globaled on a fucking mining claim.
hey, grats.
I gotta protect him from this Dasplater coming in
Oh yeah,
over here.
I'm coming.
Help! Help me!
I got you.
Give me that DPS! I got a cryo chip for fuck's sake. Oh man.
Yeah, I'll grab this one.
Oh, you're good. I'm fine.
Okay.
So. Oh fuck, there's a third. Oh, this is getting spicy. Getting those tiers on that perfected haddock, dude.
Dude, yeah. What tier is it up to now? How expensive is that thing to tier?
So oh fuck, I'm gonna die. I'm not dead actually. I don't remember. I did tier it up to tier 2 though. I got it at tier 1 for a steal. I could probably double my investment on this thing easily, dude. But it is currently tier 2.86. So it's getting close to tier 3, and I've got the magic formula for looting tier 3 components. So whenever it's ready to go, I'll just go grind what I need to grind and get it up there. So
Nice.
I can't be bothered to go and pay the markup right now, man. I was stacking tier 3s because I want to eventually upgrade my Optac to tier 3, because it's all at 2.99, like this whole set. But it's just so much markup, opportunity lost, you know. So I just rather sell what I got or what I loot. So
No, that makes
farm it
sense.
later.
Like
Yeah.
I love the idea of like tiering my armor, but it's just so expensive.
Is your what tier is the mod Shadow at?
Let's see. Helm's at 2, chest is at 3, arms are at 2, gloves are at 3, thighs are at 3.
I remember when I had
Shins are at
Supremacy, that
2.
shit was expensive. Is it also pretty expensive on the
The
mod?
mo- yeah, it's expensive, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it might just be worth it to wait until after the twin stuff goes up in tier and then go after.
I don't think it'll ever be worth it, honestly.
Really? You don't use
It's
enhancers?
like I do, but it's like 5,000 like 4 or 5,000 pet out of pocket for these next few tiers.
Just in markup? Wow.
Yeah, probably. I'd say probably 3 to 4,000 ped in markup per part. So you're looking at like 21,000 ped to get everything from like tier 2 to tier 3 or tier 3 to tier 4. Like it's super frustrating, actually. How I hate tiering. You get me on a tangent with that. Like we're getting to a point where like guns, it literally costs more to tier your gun than it does to like
Buy it?
buy it. Yeah.
What is the name of what, King? I'm sorry, I probably missed it when you typed that. We need a Hoff.
I know.
We need a twin item. And I need to get it.
Be my guest.
I would split. I'm a nice guy.
You're a sweetheart. It's LP70 twin. Let's go.
Yeah.
That would be one that we don't sell though.
What, the LP70 twin?
Oh god, dude, that gun, like.
You would print 10 with that gun, dude. Like
I think so.
After using the BP70 and seeing how awesome that was, and then like downgrading to even the LP70 after, and still having just a fine time. Yeah,
Dude,
it would be like my backup. Like I would rent the Reaper and then use the LP70.
You know, man, like, so one of the cool things about being a trader is I can say that I have owned, or like, yeah, I'll say owned as in I have purchased and held it on my account, almost every single weapon in the game with the exception of a mod nano and a Messy Dagger. And so that's one of the fun things about like being a trader is I get to play with a lot of toys.
Yeah.
One of my favorite toys that I have played with, the BP70, is an amazing gun.
Yeah, I agree. When I For those of you who are in the chat that don't know, when I stepped down from the Reaper Blade, I stepped down into the BP-70 and had no problems with that gun, like at all. It was great. Yeah, the BP-70 is awesome. Can you actually use a mod nano?
No, I'm not that. I haven't done that much with melee. That's part of the reason why I wanted to get a melee weapon so badly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It's just an area of my avatar where I haven't really developed too well.
I think that's kind of the same for a lot of people. I think like the progression line is already really defined for ranged options, right?
Yeah, there's not very many good melee weapons.
Yeah. I mean, what you have like the Arcadia stuff, you know, the Sankra dagger.
Yeah.
That stuff. I don't know, the ice dagger, when it looks like it's red. Really showing off my Entropia knowledge tonight, but you know.
Yeah. I mean, well, like look at like the Argonaut Weak Claw.
Yeah.
It's like to get the Argonaut Weak Claw and the amp to go with it, it's like 20,000 pet or something crazy like that. And it does like nothing for DPS.
Yeah. But there was also that SB10 in addition,
the SB,
right?
Yeah, that one sold for a lot. Oh, that was a nice one.
More of that, please.
Yeah, that one sold for a decent amount. I really like that Next Island dagger. Like, I really like that dagger a lot. But melee amps in general, like, because the decay is so bad, it's just it's rough, man. Like the shrapnel conversion rate, like decay rate of it is. That's why, like, I really like the perfected electric chip.
Yeah, the recent one.
With things like it doesn't like decays like
Eve's wife's account, right? I saw her with it recently.
Yeah, I think White uses it, and then
Maddie, thank you for the raid. Sorry to interrupt you there, boo.
Oh shit, nice.
Thank you for the raid, man. Also, Kartu says that the SB10 sold for 30K. That's insane.
Yeah, the first one went for a lot. It's crazy.
But yeah, welcome everyone. We're just having a chat with Boohoo You from Endgame. We're interviewing him tonight. So if you have any questions, sorry if you missed the majority of it. We're kind of winding down for the evening, I believe, but you can get them in while you can. I'll try to respond to chat as we go. Yeah, I think like going back to the original conversation that we were having with more high efficiency, high-end weapons, having limited or more, I don't know, publicly accessible variants, you know, there's just so much upfront investment cost to get into a good unlimited setup, even for low DPS. It's kind of nuts right now.
It's not new player friendly at all. And
No.
you know, I definitely think, like, you know, again, I'm on the end where I own a lot of high end expensive stuff, and I say this with whole like sincerity. I hope that my value of my gear drops, because I want my gear to be more accessible to the average person. So, you know, like I am enjoying seeing all of these new weapons drop. I understand that the ripple effects are, you know, people's the value of people's weapons are tanking. I'm right there with you. Again, you know, we talked about how much I spent on my gun earlier, but ultimately what I care most about is the community,
the health of the game. Yeah,
and the health of the game.
Definitely.
So, and one of the best ways to get there is really just you know, lowering that cost, the entry cost.
Yeah, I think Next Island and Cyrene have done a lot of good improvements to the new player missions. I don't know if you've like spent any amount of time there, but it's good stuff. You know, I like the new development teams that are coming around and the new community managers that we've gotten. I think that they are prepping, and maybe they're using this current environment, this current engine as like a playground to sort of, you know, test out how we respond to certain changes before Unreal gets here. But it's cool to see a lot of activity from development teams across planets, at least. So I'm
Yeah.
hopeful. And now with
I've
these
been-
random restocks, like that's awesome. You know.
Yeah. So the random restock, I'm 50-50 on.
Really?
Yeah, man, because like, unfortunately, I like the idea of it, but I just don't think we hit the mark yet. Because ultimately it creates a huge level of FOMO. I know a handful of people that have the tokens to pull something, and they were like trying to like no life the vendor, and at some point there becomes like a healthy balance of like, well, how
need to
long can
sleep.
someone sit?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you need to sleep. How long can you sit there and keep checking the vendor?
Yeah, I think I actually saw Hijacker mention in the public Entropia Discord that he had logged off and it restocked like 10 minutes after he went to bed. That's
Yep.
gotta sting. That's gotta sting. You know, when you're sitting there waiting to pull a mod nano, you know. So
Yeah.
man.
So, and that's where like I don't think we necessarily quite hit the mark with this most recent Mayhem
Yeah.
restock. I think that I like the idea though. You know, the idea that they had is, or at least like the perception is, right, like, hey, let's just not put it all in, that way everybody has a fair chance of getting it. But it's just, I don't know, I think there's
The execution could use some work.
yeah, their heart was in the right place though. And I mean, that's the important thing though, is like I think we're seeing it not just with Mindark but our planet partners, Next Island and Cyrene, especially recently, I think is fucking knocking it out of the park.
Yeah, man.
That the skill pill event.
Oh, I missed it. I was on a cruise. I was 9 days without internet, right in the middle of that skill juice event, dude.
I mean, I don't want to say you missed out, man, but
I missed out. I know.
You missed out. Like, I have so many 100% pills that I am so excited.
I mean, I could flash my inventory real quick on my pills that I've got stacked. I've got 78 1-hour pills of 100%. I've got 14 hours of. I'm sorry. Let me just pull these up. I've got 14 10-hour pills, and then 2 5-hour pills. So what is that? Probably nothing compared to you. I know, but it's a lot of 100% gain, regardless.
Dude, here, after we get these, I'll show you something.
If you send me a screenshot, I can put it on stream.
Well, they're tradable, so I can put them in.
Oh, you can put them in a window. Okay, that works too. I'm sorry, Paint. Rest in peace. It might be a while. Oh, I reached level 50 gunner. All right, nice. I got someone interested in my Deathbringer crown, by the way, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll be real. Like, I contemplated about hitting you up to buy it. But the problem is I collect too many fucking toys.
You need another one. Trust me. It looks so good. It's semi-unique, bro. There's only like one other in the game. You're fine.
Yeah, I think that once you sell it, you need a rocket launcher.
Oh fuck! What?
For
what?
PvP.
What did I got a pop-up for a mission failed?
What did you fail?
Oh, this was some random shit that I got for don't worry about it. It's some random shit that I picked up at fucking East Silla Mountains that I'd never done before. Apparently you couldn't die when you were getting the sensor data for all those waypoints. So I'll just go get it again. I was like, what the hell is this pop-up? What do you mean I failed a mission? Like, what the hell? Yeah, I'm bracing for impact for this trade window that's about to hit me.
There.
You can trade me while we shoot.
Yeah. Let's see if I.
Let's see it. 78, 50% for 10 hours. 68, 100% for 10 hours. 320, 30% for 10 hours. God damn, bro.
I've used some as well.
That's
like
insane.
It was, dude. I'm so excited. Like as a person who doesn't deposit very much, like
getting the opportunity for like skill pills for not having to put in boxes, or waste your M tokens,
Yep, it's huge.
That's awesome. Wasn't as much as I was expecting, but like you said, you've already used some of them, so.
I mean, yeah, I used some of the 30%, some of the 50 or 10 hour or one. I guess I'd used a couple of the 100%. Actually, when I was renting your Reaper Blade,
Oh yeah, yeah.
I used some of the 10 hour 100%.
They've got 78 1 hour, 100%, only 14, and so it's like 7.8 plus 14. Yeah, not quite as much, but pretty nice. I might burn some of mine for this intuition push. Luckily, DeConti seems open to working with me for the lacerating fin, the push into intuition. So I'm pretty excited. I need to get my hit level up a little bit first, though.
That was using I used the electric fen chip, and that's how I unlocked intuition.
Okay.
Yeah, between that and then I think one like the other big ones is like so I own a mod fen fap, and that was how I was able to unlock Doctor. That is like the golden key to unlocking Doctor.
I heard there was a skill boost on those fin faps. And by the way, thank you for the follow, Tinzakan.
Yeah, there's a hidden skill fap on that. The mod fap SGA and the improved gyro are the 3 faps that I know definitively that have like that hidden skill buff on it.
So I don't know if you know Mike Masters, but he has the adjusted fin edition, and he claims that it has the exact same hidden buff on the adjusted fin. So I think it was all the fin faps. I think the imp fin as well. But I can't confirm. I've never used any of them actually. So
I can't confirm it, so I don't want to say one way or the other.
That's fair. And I know that Lord Arm or Icewind, he has the imp gyro, and he says that it's boosted. He actually offered for me to use it when I was pushing up for the perfected haddock. So
the imp gyro does. Yep, the imp gyro. I can't confirm that one.
Yeah. So, all right. Is Gremlin purple or blue? I want to hear it from you right now.
Oh,
don't look it up. Don't Google it. Gut reaction. Let's have it.
I'm blue.
Fuck, man. I'm gonna have to unfriend you over that one, I think.
You think it's purple?
I do. I'm one of the purple boys, man.
And now I gotta Google this.
So ChatGPT, someone asked ChatGPT, and it is on the spectrum for blue. But that shit is so fucking close to purple. Let me tell you. I think it's purple.
I'm looking at it. Nah, dude, that is definitely blue. Like, there's not even a...
It looks
like,
purple.
Are you even looking at the... Are you even looking at the same picture?
It's purple.
No, I'm sending it to you on Discord right now.
It's like, purple. Shut the fuck up. Green. Who the fuck... Dude, green. Get out of town, dude.
Alright. I'm sending you this picture.
In here. Alright.
Yeah, this picture is dark and Ricky.
I'm getting beaten up over here. I know. Rest in peace. I can't open shit because I'm getting beaten up over here.
Oh, here. I guess I should help,
wow, thanks. My moral support's gone. My DPS is gone. Do you think it's blue?
So I sent you the picture on Discord. You cannot tell me that is purple. Rainy.
Hang on. Hey, no, don't call her over here. No.
I'll get Radiant on this.
All right, hang on, boys. This shit's fucking purple.
I don't know if she's still...
This shit's fucking purple.
That is definitely blue. That's like a shiny blue.
Shit's purple as fuck. Thank you. Epic says purple.
So, what the fuck? Okay, so on your screen, it definitely looks more purple than on my screen. On my monitor, it definitely looks a little bit more blue.
You're looking at my screen on... You're looking at my stream on your monitor. How does that... What?
No, different. I have 2 monitors. I have my high-quality monitor, which is where I game on, and then on the left, I have your stream.
Do you have a filter? Do you have a filter on your main monitor? That calibrate your monitor. Yeah, that's what DeConti says.
Calibrate my monitor. It's beautiful. It's beautiful just the way it is. It's keep my blues blue.
Dude, I'm telling you, is the Discord image blue or purple?
Okay. The Discord image?
Yeah.
No, like, and when I look at it on Discord, now I'm curious. I'm gonna move it over my other screen. Nah, I don't know. It looks.
If it helps you feel any better, the majority vote when I made this a public post on PCF,
I'm gonna take a picture of this. And
the
send it to
majority
you.
consensus was that it is actually blue.
My
And
phone's dead.
oh no. But anyways, the majority consensus is that it's blue. As much as I hate to admit it. But if you take
I can
if you
see
take a
where
color
you're coming
picker,
at.
if you take a color picker and like run the hex, it's blue. Technically. But the shit looks fucking purple.
I mean, I could, like I said, I could see it. I can see it, but it's definitely blue.
I agree to disagree. Here on the stream, it was definitely purple. Here on the stream, it was definitely purple. Okay, so it's my stream doing it.
Yeah, it definitely.
I've got a filter on
stream.
my stream.
Yeah, I think you're. Yo, so on a side note with Chat GPT, right? So
Yeah.
I was watching this video earlier today on Chat GPT, and a dude actually like programmed Chat GPT up to do facial recognition and audible, like, so yeah, basically like use like Google Translator and all that. Anyways, so he like held up a Coke can or Diet Coke can and was like, you know, what am I holding? And Chat GPT was able to identify he was holding a Coke can, and then he asked how many calories is in it, and Chat GPT was able to do that. And he did it with like a toothbrush. He held up a toothbrush and he's like, find this for me on Amazon. It was Skynet's real. We're all gonna die. Yeah, it's gonna control us.
I think you're overreacting a little bit. It's a search engine on steroids at this point. Let's be real.
Yeah, it's pretty
But
cool though.
It is. It's not sentient yet.
I've been using it for work to like help me like write emails and shit like that.
Yeah. One of my friends used it for his end of year review, performance review that he had to fill out for work.
That's awesome.
I've used it for regex, writing custom rules for
Okay.
work, and like any sort of coding stuff that I had to do. If I'm stuck trying to get something to work, like reading from a file or anything like that, you know, just it helps a lot. It's not awesome. It's not like where it needs to be to like be able to. I think there was a video that I found where someone tried to get Chat GPT to write Flappy Bird and make a version of Flappy Bird, right? But you had to know a lot of like coding nomenclature to be able to adequately articulate yourself to Chat GPT to get it to function as intended. And
Yeah.
basically call it on its bullshit, because it wouldn't know. It would just hand you something. And I've actually caught it on a few things with like PowerShell syntax versus PHP. Like I've asked it for a PowerShell version of the script and it's giving me PHP instead. Like it's prone to error still.
Are you using the free version or have you
Yeah,
used
I'm
ChatGPT
using-
4?
I haven't used 4. I'm using the free version, but I know there's more stuff on the way, right? And there was also that article where ChatGPT basically lied to someone to get them to complete a recaptcha for them, which was fucking
Yeah.
awesome. Like that's
My wife showed me that.
that's great, dude. Yeah. No purple. It's not purple, or it is purple. Jungle Stalker says it's purple. I'm gonna take that as that's what he said. I'm not opening any more PMs from you. That's it. Kind of fucked up. LOL. Can I ask ChatGPT about Entropia? Yeah. I mean, he does, like, ChatGPT has fed a lot of information and it is aware that Entropia universe exists. So I had a bit of an idea to maybe like isolate an instance of ChatGPT and feed it a bunch of Entropia info from like the wiki and see if it could come up with like any new like off meta combos for gear. But it can't even really make a good viable commander deck in Magic the Gathering. So I don't know if I trust it with something as in depth as Entropia. So
I've played around with it a little bit and I haven't been able, and I have the paid version.
do you? Okay.
Yeah, and because I use it a lot for work.
Yeah.
And it's been more so fun. Actually, you know where I get probably the most use of Chat GPT? I've been using it to help my daughter become a little bit more creative. Is at night when I go to bed now. So I read my daughter a book every single time every single night before bed. So what we've moved to is actually her and I will sit down and talk about a story, and then I'll feed it into Chat GPT, and I'll have Chat GPT write me a story, and then I'll read that to my daughter as a bedtime story. But it's been fun watching her kind of evolve over the last few nights, because she's becoming like more like creative and more descriptive with how she's doing things and how she's articulating how she wants her story to be. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome. I mean, that's really interesting, because like it kind of forces you to be that way, you know, because you have to explain to the AI, you know, how you want the output. So
we were talking about it at work, right? And so like I think it's a super powerful tool, but it's only as good as the user using it. Like if you're not creative and you don't have the ability to do critical thinking, the tool is completely useless for you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna let you tag.
Okay.
Yo, what up? people DMing me. But yeah, man, I think like it's cool, but also like it's a double-edged sword, and it's come a long way since like the early days, you know, and stuff. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it continue to evolve. I'm looking forward to seeing like Google Bard. I don't know if you've played around with that at all. Yeah, I played around with it a little bit. It's, you know, it's been, I mean, it's definitely nowhere near Chat GPT level. I literally have gotten to the point where I use Chat GPT as like my search engine. Like if I have a question, like a good example, my wife and I, we were, oh shit, no wonder why I'm pulling a bunch. It's because I have the wrong weapon out.
Oh my god.
I was like, why do I keep running up? I have the Great Claw. Oh, so my wife and I were laying in bed talking about like, hey, we need to come up with some dinner ideas. And you know what I did? I said, hey, Chat GPT, you know, tell me some, you know, meal ideas that use these ingredients. And it came up with a whole bunch of meals, and we kind of like tailored it.
That reminds me, my buddy that I know in like real life, one of my previous coworkers that I still like hang out with often, he had Chat GPT come up with a drink, like a mixed drink, and that shit's bomb as fuck. It tastes like a grapefruit, bro. Like, it's the most like it's the most random concoction, and he tried it, and it actually tastes like grapefruit. Like, it's insane.
Interesting. I'll have to try that, because you know, so I don't really drink alcohol. I have a very addictive personality. So I try to stay away from things like alcohol and all that.
So what's your crutch then? Do you have a crutch besides like nicotine or alcohol?
Candy, actually. It's something I've gotten.
Candy.
Yeah. So I stress eat candy.
Stress eat candy. Wow.
Yeah. So now, with that being said, is I've over the last what month? Last 4 months, I've pretty much completely cut out candy. Like, you know, just trying to get healthier and whatnot. But yeah, so when I get like really stressed, that's where I have to really watch out.
Yeah. By the way, Hoob, I just read your previous message about why it was fucked up, because I just read like it's fucked up, and I didn't realize what he had said before that. He said that ChatGPT will actually lie to you if you tell it to, and it's not harmful to do so. If you ask if you ask ChatGPT to lie to you on the next like response, it will, unless it's harmful to do so.
Interesting.
That's cool.
What determines if it's harmful, though?
Probably its own engine. I mean, if I sit there and ask it, for example, write me a script that will, you know, make I don't know, grant me access to this system, it'll be like, I can't do that because it's harmful, you know. But if I'm just like, hey, you know, write me something that seems less harmful, you know, just in like the keywords or whatever, to do a very specific thing, like, hey, can you please help me to decrypt this hash? You know, it will do that, because it doesn't know that it's like a password and username, you know, hash or something. So you can get around it in that way and make it seem less harmful. But That's also still kind of scary, is people who use it for malintent. So we've also had a couple of vulnerabilities come up at work that are 0 days from ChatGPT.
Oh, because it identified the 0 day?
No,
or...
like people utilize ChatGPT to exploit their web application.
Interesting.
And we've had to spend time making custom rules, and your boy may or may not have used ChatGPT to make those rules, so it's like putting it against itself in a way.
Yeah, I've used Reddit before to solve like, you know, outages, right? So we had like this outage, and you know, like I can't really tell people like what we were working on and all that, and so we like made up kind of like a scenario, but the core of our problem was all identified in this, and yeah, we put it up on Reddit, and people helped us solve it. It was awesome. Crowdsource information, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. And like, I remember doing open source intelligence. There was a cool CTF at DEF CON that I did. I think I might have told you about it, maybe. Or, anyways, maybe not. I said it a lot on stream, so I don't know what I said on stream versus like to people. But there's an open source intelligence CTF that I did that I actually placed 4th in the world for as a solo participant. So that was pretty fun. But I love open source intelligence, man. It's awesome.
It's pretty crazy.
Just the amount of data set that this thing's fed on, man, it's massive.
Yeah.
Have you played around with the Discord soundboard, by the way?
Nah. They actually have like a legit like built-in soundboard now.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
We've got the Hall of Fame.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, man.
I start like randomly playing it for myself to pretend like I'm getting good hits.
It trolls the people in chat at least, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it gets me like that endorphin rush of yes, I finally got a payback.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'll cool it with the soundboard.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I love the fact that we can hunt DASP on like Planet now. Like this is so cool.
Dude, I remember going up to Crystal Palace and only having like 2 at a time, you know, in that dome that wasn't maintained at all.
You spend 30 minutes running back and forth.
Hey King, take care, man. Thanks for stopping by.
Have a good night, bud. It was great to chat with you, and I'll catch up with you again too. King and I go back, way back actually, like long time ago. Back.
I've known King for a while too.
Yeah. King's a good dude, good vapper. He was a good trader back in the day too. Plus funny as fuck to talk with, let's be real. Like I don't know if you've ever talked with him in voice.
Yeah, no, I have, dude.
Yeah. He makes me roll. Yeah.
I watch him on stream and I'll go in there and like talk to him just to listen to him talk, man.
He's really smart too.
Oh yeah, he is.
He was like doing like tutoring and stuff like that.
He can play it down too. Like he'll play it down, you know, and he can troll with the best of them, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like him. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who I'm gonna get for the next interview. I'll have to see. I don't know.
Yeah, there's, you know, I think this is a really cool thing you're doing. It's a great way to meet people and to kind of like, you know, to kind of just get to know like the truth behind people. And I mean, there's so many good people, you know, be that of anyone in like, got some good Holy Moly members. Zoe, another like amazing individual.
Be cool to get on here.
Zoe contributes a lot to the EU community. Zoe's a really good dude. There's
Nicholas Loser on here that
yeah
monopolized the Divine Predator on. I mean, honestly, just to pick his brain, like to see what makes him tick, you know. That was one that
Stevie B.
Stevie B would be fun. I think I
No,
would have
dude.
a record low viewership, but we could do
Oh gosh, yeah.
it.
I magically forgot to turn on my stream today.
Yeah. Oh. No, I remember I was gonna do like a reaction type video, like I was gonna like or a stream where I was gonna like watch one of his videos on stream. Instantly lost like 80% of my viewers, dude. As soon as I turned on that Stevie B video on stream, they're like, nope,
So,
we're out. So
what happened to you and dressing up as Bonnie?
that's still in the works.
Okay.
I heard Megavolt might be interested in sponsoring that one, so I'm waiting for payment.
Okay. Because I definitely used all of my stream tokens on that.
Wait, what stream tokens? What are you talking about?
You know, like the little bottom, the hands that you get. I was able to use all of my hands to vote extra times to ensure.
Oh, I remember that shit.
Yeah, that was like there was like 20
Yeah.
people in chat, but like 100 and something votes.
I blame Paint Ghost for making that fucking poll where you could use more channel points to vote more, but no. I want to do it. I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be good fun. I still have to locate some silicone tits from my local adult shop down the road. And then maybe get a wig and have my wife do my makeup. I'll shave my beard for it and everything. Like I'm gonna go full send, dude. It's gonna be good.
I'm looking forward to it.
I have to work on my Scottish accent a little bit, I think, and my the pursing of my lips, you know. But no, it'll be a good time. You want to roleplay JBK?
Nah. You lose me there. You lose me. I'm
man.
happy being boohoo you.
Okay, all right. I could have like a screen share with you on Discord where I have like you in a small corner on my stream.
Yeah. just crying.
Yeah, no, I think that would be good fun, man.
Yeah. Oh, you know something we talked about on the phone, right? When we were discussing all this. You had asked about how I got my name.
Oh yeah, it's the one that I forgot to ask you. All right, fourth wall broken, everyone. I totally had a pre-call with with Boo about what I could and couldn't ask him tonight. So yeah, why did you choose Boohoo You? And is there like a story behind the name?
Yeah, so it actually is. So
We'll
I'm
cut
a
that out in
pretty
the
like, I'm a pretty sensitive dude. And so when I was a kid, you know, I was a sensitive dude or sensitive kid. And so, you know, I would cry. And so it was a funny name because, you know, boohoo, like, you know, crying.
Yeah.
And then I just added you in there for fuck knows what reason. And then here I am now, you know, 20 or however many, like 15, 14, 15, 16, 17 years later. Boohoo You's still there, but I just go by Boohoo then, and it's just kind of fun. It's a play on words too a little.
Yeah.
Because of the way that Who's written. So.
Right.
But yeah, that was the story.
Okay. I mean, it beats my story, so.
Yeah, my dad helped me pick it out, so it was pretty cool.
Do I have a schedule for streaming and interviewing? Great question, Penny. Every Friday night. If you're in the States, it's going to be around probably anywhere between 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock Central is when I start, typically. I try to stream every Friday night. If you are not, and you're in like UTC, it's about 3 o'clock a.m. I'd say 1 to 3 a.m. GMT. To make it easy for conversion. Or UTC, server time. I don't think I ever heard boo-hoo before today. Well, you spelled who wrong, but good try. Sexy voice, doesn't he?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, making you blush, aren't I? Yeah.
I am blushing. I'm gonna get a little heat.
Oh. I'm in Central whereabouts? Alabama. JBK is easy to play. You don't talk or anything. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Just awkwardly breathe into the microphone.
Dude,
You can hear my clicking in the back.
and then you have to have that heated typing when you've been shot down by a pirate to get the officials to repair your shit. Sorry, I'm sorry to pull that back up on you. Oh man, that was some big drama when it happened. I don't know if you heard about that or not.
I remember that.
Oh man, that was fun stuff. Fun stuff. Poor DME. I feel like DME still gets stuff for that, man.
Yeah, I mean, Optic wasn't very good, but yeah, it's unfortunate like how fucked up Space is.
It really is. Space is the one thing that I'm happy that nice. Space is the one thing that I'm happy that I stayed away from, because I was close to getting a ship for a while, and after getting close to people and being on the Cronin for a while, knowing a few warpers and what they go through every day, bro, like I wouldn't trade that for anything. Like, and the drama that comes along with it.
Yeah, I think like getting into the warp service. So I own an Equus and a privateer.
Oh, congrats!
And thank you. And it's nice having like it's the ability to kind of move around. It's really nice having the ability to move around, but man, running a warp service just is not worth it. Like, I mean, now with that being said, like
depending on your playstyle, yeah,
completely. I really respect, the warp systems that we have. There's a couple different like big name individuals that have different services that they run on schedules. Like, I think that's awesome. Not something I could do in this game.
Oh yeah, takes the patience of Job to do that, in my opinion. So.
Oh yeah, I couldn't. Yeah.
Oh, Nebraska, nice. Sorry, I was talking to Fatty there. I actually didn't know Fatty was from Nebraska. But yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. I think it's one of those other, kind of areas where it can kind of get petty, similar to like what we had already talked about with PvP on Planet.
I think people are very territorial when it comes time for space stuff.
Yeah, there's also the whole thing with like price fixing. There's been people that have tried to do it in the past, unsuccessfully, I think. One of the more recent guys that I heard about was Ben Tony Dover.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
that dude.
Yeah, he was a hoot. He set Port Atlanta small to PvP. Said fuck it. So I have a lot of respect to him, but well, for that portion anyways. But I think I heard that he tried to get a lot of people together to try to price fix, and like, hey, we could all make like a little bit more money if we all agreed to charge more, and everyone was like, nah, go fuck yourself. So that was it's kind of
already like the cost of like, you gotta factor in time and all that, but
yeah,
the
margins are already good. I think
they're pretty good.
Yeah.
I want to say, don't quote me on this, anyone, please, because I'm not 100% sure. But I think it's like right around, for the privateer, it's like right around like 7 ped of warp at cost, a little over 7 ped.
With markup factored in?
With markup factored in.
Yeah.
I think it's like right around like 7 ped.
Yeah. And the cost, I believe, and again, don't quote me on this, is the same for motherships that are charging more.
Yeah.
Like, just to name a few, examples. Like I've seen some for like 40 ped. And I'm like, how do you justify that? I get that you're a mothership, but like, that's a lot of ped for what costs 7.
Still gets you from point A to point B. And let's be real, like half of us that use privateer warps are so lazy that we just teleport down the planet and spend another 7 ped.
7 ped on top of that. Yeah, I can't even be like, I don't know. I've changed recently, but before, yes, I agree that I would just teleport down. But yeah. Microtransactions, man, they mask it,
Yeah, they do. Well, that's one of the nice things about the Equus, right? Is it's you're already
you can go right
in
to
the
atmosphere.
Plane.
Yeah,
you just basically like warp right into atmosphere, so
that's gotta be so nice. But the weight limit restriction, did you have to also invest in some like Lux cases for anti-grav?
So I already had a bunch because I've owned an
Oh, yeah, you
Equus.
have like
So like
an endless inventory, I'm sure. So
not endless, but I mean, it's got some depth to it.
yeah.
And so one of the things like when I bought the BC 120, I had to sell my Equus.
Have a good night, Penny.
Have a good night, Penny. Yeah, so I had to sell my Equus when I bought the BC 120. So I just kept the boxes, but
Okay, so you already had some on hand.
yeah. I mean, I bought a couple more because for some reason but at the same time too is nice because then you don't realize how much extra like random crap you carry on you.
Yeah. Helps you like slim down. Yeah.
Without a doubt. Yeah, you're like, oh, okay, I guess I really don't need to carry around 5 armor sets on me when I only used 1.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Also, Gopher brings up a good point. He says that the generic fuses went down a lot recently too. They used to be almost 500% for generic fuses, so that's a pretty good point.
I honestly could, because I generally loot my own and then craft with them. So I honestly couldn't even tell you like how much they go for. It's been so long.
I think that's also kind of a benefit of owning the ship, but not doing a service, right? Unless I'm incorrect here, and assuming that you don't really service yourself out as like a public warper.
Oh,
But I'm
hell
sure
no.
I'm sure some people would outpace that pretty quickly, on some peak times. So.
Dude, I'm way too lazy for that. Like, way too lazy for that.
Yeah.
It's just not worth like the headache of having to deal with people and then like making like 10 ped, but then it takes you 15 minutes to do it. Not really 15 minutes, but
Yeah.
I'm not very efficient. So,
Right.
yeah.
And plus, getting locked into PMs too. I see a lot of that too. Like putting up with people. I think is the big drawback for me. So.
I mean, I have to deal with that a lot with trading, right? So
That's fair.
I'm used to dealing with people, but it's different. Like, like I'm not gonna stop my middle of a hunt to warp somebody around, and I feel like when you run those kinds of services, you need to be more accessible. And the reality is like I said, I'm not gonna stop what I'm doing to put my stuff in storage to warp you from Calypso to Arcadia. To come back to Calypso to start hunting again.
Right. For a net profit of like 10 ped.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a valid point.
But it is a good way for people to make money if, without too much like, you can get a ship cheaper than you can a gun nowadays.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. So
more profitable than.
So with your extensive knowledge and experience with like the items and things that you come into contact with throughout the game, what has been your? Because I already know my answer, but what has been your favorite armor to have used that yielded you the most value versus the ped that you put into it? Like, what's your favorite set of armor?
My favorite set of armor.
Yeah.
So I can't say Mod Shadow, right? Because it's just not realistic for 90% of people.
Yeah. There's 2 sets in the game. I mean, shit. So,
with that being said, I fucking love my Mod Shadow.
Yeah.
I think, let's see. My first set of Shadow, like I think Shadow's a really good set, like all around. The Improved Imperium is another like really solid like mid-level set. Angel Fen is a good one. It's kind of got up there a little bit more in price as of late, but a really solid. The Merry Mayhem armor, the old school Merry Mayhem armor, is another like really really good set. I like the old Protector of the Empire armor. Can't really justify the cost of it.
Yeah, it's a bit mid-range for what it is as far as price goes. Yeah. Because I had a tier 6 set at one point, or 5 to 6, I think. And then I made the move to Supremacy after that for a brief period. But I think that my favorite set so far has been, against the cost, was actually E-Mine. I had a pretty high tier set of E-Mine armor.
I forgot about that set.
It's kind of a sleeper. It's kind of like Lion in a way.
E-Mine was really good.
It is. You can plate it up and beef it up really easily, and it costs next to nothing if it's still around the same price point for what it is.
I actually owned a set of E-Mine back in the day. I spent like 23 or 2400 pet on it, and my brother actually has it now. It's really good armor. I forgot about that set. It's just ugly as fuck.
Yeah. Did
But
you sell
nothing
your
is more-
Lion Epic? What the hell? Sorry.
No, you're good.
Angel Finn? Yeah, DeConti likes Angel Finn. My global was stuck in a rock. What the hell? What? Maybe like a claim. But yeah, it's kind of like one of those armors that gets passed over. And a lot of people think it's ugly. I think it looks cool as shit. It's unique.
I think it's ugly.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
See,
it's so
again
ugly.
with this armor thing, man. I don't know what it is with you.
So, but I'm like, I like that real sleek armor look.
Yeah, that mod shadow, all black, I love Ascension. I will say that the best looking set of armor that I own right now is Ascension.
Dude, the Ascension armor is nice.
Yeah, I got mine for right around 6.5k, around that price point, so I'm happy with it. It's
That's a good price.
currently like loaned out as collateral for the shit that I'm using, because obviously it doesn't grant you a Mind Force increase. So I'm letting the guy that I'm using this from use it, so he can skill up.
On the armor topic, something you just kind of there's actually someone in chat that made a comment about a Viceroy. Dude, I have a set of mod Viceroy. Like, that has been one of like the most like trusty armor sets I've ever invested in.
I started on the path of Viceroy, but then I redeemed it for the TT value for the base set, because I was like, this is basically the same as Gremlin, and I didn't want to go further into investing into a player bound item. But now we're seeing with Cyrene, they're moving away from the player bound items that have those buffs. Do you think that something is coming for Arcadia, for Viceroy? Will they improve the armor?
I wanna hold hope for Arcadia.
I wanna believe, yeah.
But Arcadia has done nothing in the last like how many years to give me any hope in that.
Well, I think that was mostly due to Dylan, right? And his lack of initiative. But now you've got a new development team coming in, similar to Rocktropia. Right?
Yeah, but until something happens, I'm gonna hold judgment. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, there's a bit of a grudge.
They haven't done anything. Like, this is a planet I stay away from. I mean, I know Arc has like a loyal following, but
yeah, nothing against Cyrene, nothing against Cyrene devs, especially Shauna. Shauna's awesome, but I have a grudge against Cyrene for yoinking my fucking mod Imperium right as I was about to get it.
Oh yeah.
I think you remember that period, because you were there around the same time I was, and how it kind of shook out,
Yeah.
I've still got the full TT trophies over there in storage, just sitting there, and I remember spending like thousands of pet on those things, and they're worth fuck all now.
Yep.
And I'm just like, fuck, man.
Yeah. No, yeah. I remember that.
It's still a little bit of scars that haven't healed fully there for me as well, I guess. So
I think for me, like, one of my planets I have the hardest time with is Toulon. I get so lost every time I go to that planet.
I don't know. For me, it's Cyrene. Toulon's a lot easier to navigate than. There's just not as much there. If you go to Cyrene, there's 500 NPCs when you load in.
I know.
Like, it's overwhelming. But yeah, no, I get what you mean. Like, it's desolate on Toulon. There's no one there. The market's dead.
The spawns are fucking atrocious.
Dude, have you gone to the wave events? Do you know how big those like wave event places are? Like with the tabs and shit? It's huge. Yeah. Like, how are you supposed to solo that shit? I've soloed tabs. I've soloed the Quafesh, But they're huge. And there will be like one little mob hiding in the corner that you didn't see,
Yeah.
And that's holding you up on the wave. I can tolerate Toulon a little bit better than I could, I think, Cyrene.
Nah, I mean, I don't. What's really hard. So for me, at the end of the day, I know Arcadia, Next Island, and Calypso the best. Um, and so those are the planets. I've been learning more about Rocktopia, thanks to some friends who kind of like pointed me in some different routes on RT and kind of showed me some information, like where to like learn about like where the mission brokers are and things like that.
Yeah, there's also that consolidated thread on PCF that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Have you seen that one?
Well, yeah, the PCF one, and then I think it's Entropia Planets has like a really good like mission link thread. And low key, like RT is like one of the best planets to be grinding right now. Like, there's reasons why Messi sat on RT for so long grinding out attribute tokens, and I just wish like I had learned about it, sooner. So you'll definitely catch me popping over to RT time to time, working on repeatables, to get more attribute tokens.
So would you say that the I guess what you're saying is to be interpreted as like the foregoing codex, because they currently don't have codex on RT, is it's worth foregoing the meta in pursuit of these repeatable attribute token payouts?
I think it all depends on just you.
And like where the character's at?
Yeah, like, I mean, so the way that I look at it is the way that things appear to be shifting is that we're moving towards codex, which means that, a new player coming into the game, they're only going to be able to get, so many different attributes. But for the older players that were able to do attribute turn-ins, they're always going to have a higher base attribute stat than that of a new player. And right now RT is one of the only ways to do that.
Yeah, but I think also like one of the interesting things that I found out was that the codex attributes will scale off of the codex ranks that you've taken, not your base stats. So if you actually held off on taking your meta rewards until you had already applied your attribute token rewards, that would have actually been better.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that. I've still got attribute tokens sitting in storage that I still haven't taken. I probably should.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like there's the way that just things kind of balance and like equal out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, RT has some good repeatable missions, and
I remember being. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're saying.
I just remember being proud of my 7 stamina. That was big stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, look at I think I can't even remember. Messi has so much stamina and agility and all that. It's pretty awesome. But I mean, he put in the work to get it, and hitting up those repeatable missions is huge.
Yeah, I mean, there was some stuff that I think wasn't intended to be repeated that he did, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a topic for after party. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Let's see.
But yeah, man. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people, put a lot of stock into min-maxing, and it's good, and it comes from like a place that I have close to my heart from past experience with other games. But I think like it'll all kind of wash out in the long term. Like the game, like you said, it's constantly evolving. So what mattered 5, 6, 7 years ago isn't really going to hold weight anymore. So
yeah,
hopefully.
One, I think we have a good community that we have a good community that all kind of like keep in touch with each other, and for the most part, most of the information that people feed into the community is factual information. And you have people every now and then that will intentionally or unintentionally, it doesn't matter, they'll spread some information that necessarily isn't accurate, but if you have half a sense and can kind of weed out, we have a good community that really like tries to help each other grow and develop, and it's nice to see.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's come a long way too. Like I think like most of the negativity gets flushed out, which is nice to see. Like most people will get identified to be a shitty person, and they'll kind of get not like name shamed, but kind of like, and also not really gaslit, but you know what I mean. Like they kind of get brought out, they get weeded out, And I think that's one of the good things about this community is like you typically will hear about someone and their bad reputation before it ever gets close to you. Most of the time.
Yeah.
I've heard about people through friends like, hey, watch out for that guy because he did this to that guy before it was even close to my inner circle, of people.
Yeah. Well, that's why, like, I mean, one of the most important things in this game is your reputation. Like,
definitely.
It can literally make or break you and your success in the game, or hinder your success. I don't think it could make or break your success, but I definitely think.
But there's also time, right? So I've seen, and this actually came up in a private conversation I was having. So there's some old videos out there for Valaville doing PvP. He's one of the guys that I reached out to early on. And in one of his videos, he actually has a chat window open where he's talking about a player who's pretty well known now that was involved in like some shady activity that's not really known about now. This was before even my time in the game. That I wouldn't even be privy to this information if I didn't actually just watch that video on YouTube randomly and make a mental note of that occurring. So you've got a newer influx of people that aren't aware of these, for lack of better nomenclature, snakes in the grass, And they're just kind of laying there, and they've had this bad reputation, but people don't know who to believe because they're coming into it fresh. They don't know the good from the bad or the ugly,
Yep. And the biggest thing is, I hope that people are able to learn about those individuals before it comes to a point where they're impacted by those individuals.
Definitely.
I think that's really big.
It's kind of a shame, but I get why it's there. The rule in PCF for name blasting, basically, because anybody could do it. But I really wish that rule was changed. I'm glad that Mindark has not taken over their Discord that's been put on by the community, the Entropia Universe Discord.
Yeah.
Because it's a good platform for people to speak openly. And the moderators or admins there are pretty chill, for the most part. Like Bonnie and Savarg or whatever his name is.
Yeah, so. I think as long as, people, don't just go, well, I don't like this person, so, X, Y, Z. But, like, I think it's important to kind of share that information.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, man. But like I said, all in all, for the most part, most people are pretty good. And like, it's a good place to go for resources and conversations and whatnot.
Yeah, for sure. So Gopher says he's actually seen a bunch of new players asking questions and stuff in the Discord. It's nice to help them out and actually see them looking for info to help them. I do agree with that. And I'm glad that they go to Discord because in my experience, the Discord community on Entropia Universe Discord, even though you have some people who will kind of troll, albeit I have also kind of posted some trolling material in there before, but it's a lot more clean than Rookie Chat, for example. You come into the game, you're told to go to Rookie Chat, and that's like that's the armpit of the game, in my opinion, is Rookie Chat. That's the big cesspool. I heard they're looking to rework it based off of making it into a global chat, and then basing it off of your mentor level, only if you're able to chat with the new players, which I think is awesome. But that's hearsay. Haven't heard a timeline on that yet, but that'd be great.
That would be pretty cool because, man, there are some people that talk in that chat. I'm like,
They're
how
complete
do you
idiots, man. Like,
I question
oh.
how they remember to breathe in the morning.
Oh, dude. Yes. Fuck.
Yeah, it's just like, oh my goodness. Oh man, this is cool. This is actually the first time since I've purchased a Great Claw that I've actually used it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How are the bravado gains? I've always heard that the Power Fist has like an invisible boost to bravado.
So I wasn't bravado, but that was jumped out to me. But I heard that Power Fist is the fastest way to gain agility.
Hmm.
Now, whether that's true or not, I don't fucking know.
I mean, yeah. I've never actually been able to quantify the bravado gains, but that's just what I heard. And honestly, from using the TT items, like if I use like a TT short blade versus long blade versus Power Fist, I did notice more natural gains for bravado.
Interesting.
But I don't know how you would really track agility.
Yeah, that's something that I would ask Zoe. I would ask Zoe.
Yeah, let's get Zoe on
the
the
wizard.
stream. Fuck it. You want me to
Zoe's a
DM him real
wizard.
quick? See if he's online?
Let's see. I can. Zoe's a wizard.
You want to
Doesn't
message
look
him
like
to
he's
see if
online.
he's... well,
Nah.
I'll schedule it out for him.
Yeah, Zoe does some incredible work for the community. Bravado is clubbing.
Clubber?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Shouldn't
You
have
get
been
crit?
tabbed out. No, I was tabbed out.
Oh, I let you down.
It's all
It's
good.
okay. You remind me that I should heal myself.
That's good. I need to step away to take a bio break. I will be right back. Feel free to keep him
You guys
entertained, though, if you
You
want.
guys are stuck with me. Suckers. Oh man, he should have put me on follow. That way you guys could at least. Actually, it's not. I mean, let's be real. Like, what we really need to do is we really need to hit this big hit while he's gone. Or y'all should just put like grats in the chat, so that way when he comes back, he's gonna be like, "What did you hit?" I'll tell him I looted a twin weapon. Oh, please, everybody put grats in there. I just gotta come up with a believable. Tell him I looted an IMK2 twin. There we go. Just go big, right?
Wait, what? Did you fucking Hoff or some shit?
Dude, I hit a 10K and it had an IMK2 twin in it.
Nah,
you left at the worst fucking time, dude.
You're fucking with me.
But your chat's amazing because they all were on board with it. So
Yeah, nah, I looked at the team loot and I was like, nah. Almost had me. I mean, like, you legit almost had me at 10K. But when you did the IMK2, I was like,
I realized I
a
overextended.
little bit of a hard sell there, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I should have just stayed.
You almost had me. Like when I came back, it was like I saw the no way, and then I saw like the fucking killing them softly with the swirls and shit. I was like, oh fuck. Then I heard 10K. I would have believed the 10K.
I got greedy. I should have just said it was a 10K and
Yeah,
left it.
man. You should have left it where it was.
I was committed to the IMK 220. A man can dream. Dude, I would love
You
to
guys
own
are
that
all
gun.
fuckheads. Every one of you in here.
You're gonna die.
Oh, fuck. It's not quick enough. Ow! I'm fine.
Oh, okay. Well, don't take my charity heal then.
Hey, get the fuck away from me.
I mean, it's not like my FAP does like tickles. It's not anything compared to yours.
That's the refurb rank 7. Did you go for the HP boost or did you go for the speed boof? Speed boof.
No. It's this one.
Wait, what?
That's what I have.
Of course you fucking do. Of course you fucking do.
What do you mean?
It's great having you on the stream, Boo. Hey, we'll have to do this again sometime, Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'm jelly, man. You want to trade my perfected haddock for this?
Oh, in a heartbeat.
Really?
Dude, I would trade it, but it wouldn't be a fair value to you. The FAP is not worth that much.
But dude, it's got CDI.
Yeah, so I actually did the math before I bought this, right?
Okay.
So like I ran all the numbers with somebody, and you get like 90 or 95% of your decay back. And so basically, don't quote me on my head math because I don't remember the exact numbers, but it ended up being like right around like 1.7 ped out of pocket. Assuming you get like 90-95% TT return back, only comes like 1.7 ped out of pocket to use every 8 seconds for an entire hour.
Oh my god.
Which is cheaper than that of going out and buying a pill. But now the other thing you lose though is you lose like uptime because the game is amazing and it takes like a second and a half.
This is where your wife's avatar comes into place. You know what I mean? So
yeah, but that's also a lot of skill gain on a wife avatar. So
yeah, true.
And her FAP skills are not nearly that high. So but it works like for what I use it for. So I have it tier 1 right now. Slowly going to tier 2. It's like 1.45 right now.
You think this would be viable for hill jobs?
I think I would hire someone with that FAP over a lot of other FAPs.
75 to max it. I'm only at 55 by the way, so I can't even use this shit. So but yeah, I would entertain buying one just for hill jobs. I think you would get picked up.
I think so, because like I was saying, cost to use is when you factor in like the DPP increase and all that, I would, in theory, you come out ahead. I imagine you've got to make more than 1.7 ped an hour more from the DPP increase. But yeah. I don't know. We just can pretend. But what's really cool though is that the buffs on it stack separately than that of your
items. Yeah.
Because
it's action versus item. And I think this was like something that one of my friends and I were talking about. We were discussing the I believe it was whether or not you should go for the HP versus the speed upgrade on the refurb heart on Cyrene. But I was like, I think it's a buff. It's not. It's like an action, not an item, right? So it wouldn't matter if you were already max run speed. Because you're like, I'm already max run speed. Why would I take run speed? I'm like, no, it's on top of that.
Yeah, but
so
I don't know. When would you use that? Maybe
oil
chasing
rig.
somebody down in PvP.
Oil rig all day.
Yeah.
Mob train. Sit there and fucking tear that shit up. Outrun everybody. Pick the oil.
No,
GGs.
Dude, that's where the sniper unity comes into play.
Man, you know what? Let me just go loot one, then I can have this conversation. I
sat on the top of the rig while they're all trying to mob train me, and I can literally shoot them across the map. So
oh my god,
the mob train did nothing because there's nothing they can do. And I literally they're flying their ships in, and they barely can be seen on my radar, and I'm shooting their ship down, and they're trying to jump out of their ship. And
oh my god,
dude, when that gun gets higher tier, it's gonna be so much fun.
Man, I can't wait. You're gonna have to let me use that thing, man.
Yeah, just waiting for the tiering stuff to come down because it's just not worth it right now.
Wait, if you need help tiering it, let me know. Maybe we'll do a little swap seat for some Reaper skilling. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
I'd be down, dude.
It's pretty fun though. It's pretty fun. It's like it's a pretty solid weapon though. Not something I would use as a main weapon, but I mean, for like an avid PvP, it's definitely a solid all-around weapon. So one that scares me is if Diocles got one in his hand. GG PvP. Everyone might as well just log out.
Yeah, dude's insane.
He is a fucking animal. Yeah, him with that gun would be super scary.
Yeah, I remember him roaming the Arc Zone. Oh, Dindom, thank you for the raid. 12 people. Welcome, everybody. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm fine. Never mind.
I offered to heal you once and you said no, so
yeah, no, go fuck yourself, man. With that fucking you psyched me out with the 10k IMK2 twin drop when I was AFK at the toilet, so it's on you. But hey, welcome everybody. I hope you had a good stream, Dindom. We have Boohoo here. We are interviewing. We're past the interview at this point. We're just chilling out and hanging out. So. If you got any questions for Boohoo, post them up in the chat. We'll try to get to them. Hey Issa, how's it going? Good to see you. Got the new Discord up and running for everything stream related. I've sent the invite out for a few people. Thank you for the follow, by the way, Titan. Good to have you here. Let me go ahead and plug the Discord real quick. Sorry, Boo. I know I'm neglecting you as well.
I'm gonna cry now.
I know.
No, but you mentioned Titan. You know, Titans, have you like really looked at the armor set?
No, just the guy's name was Titan that followed me. NS Titan.
I know, but when you said Titan, it made me think of Titan. Like,
yeah, no, I've had parts of it for a while.
If I had a female avatar, I would definitely be going for Titan.
Well, that's any armor you could go for as a female.
Not like
it's like super thanks
cheap.
for the follow.
You can get pieces for like anywhere between like around like 5,000 ped apart to build a set Titan. Dude, I'd build a set Titan for 35,000 ped, 40,000 ped.
Yeah, I mean, like if you were a female, you could like own multiple sets for the amount of one male set. But yeah, no, I got you. You trying to sell a set of female Titans? Is that what's going on here? Huh?
Little do you know, I got a 6 or 7 set of female Titan. I'm giving up on putting it together.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. So
yeah.
No, the set is actually pretty cool. I want a set of Lotus, to be honest with you. Like, if I'm gonna be completely candid, Lotus looks sick as fuck.
You think Lotus looks good?
It doesn't look good. The stats are good.
Alright.
It looks like your SpongeBob.
It's the ugliest armor in the game.
It's not as ugly as Optac, which is what I'm currently rocking. I look like a fucking beetle. Oh, where did you go?
I don't know.
Oh,
I'm coming.
Just select next targeting over here. Oh man, did you see the announcement that Mai did on Entropia Discord?
Oh
for
no, what?
The extension of Mayhem, and she put that GIF of the F spam. The one that everyone hates. Oh man, it was so good, man. I was like, yeah, that's everyone right now.
That's so funny.
It was good. It was good.
I mean, you can't beat them. Join them, right? Join the trolls.
Yeah, man. I'm glad they seem to be self-aware. You know.
Yeah.
Mindark does.
Yeah. That's so funny. I didn't see that. I don't follow the Entropy Discord too heavily. Like I pop in and kind of keep tabs in from time to time, but
yeah,
not like super plugged in.
I gotta get some ammo real quick. 1 sec. Ooh. It was all on synthetic mind essence. Oh, my card's below 30k. It hurts.
I'm curious to see.
I'll make it back in NanoCube markup. What are you curious to see?
There you go. Oh, I'm curious to see how long it takes for Easter Straw boxes to come up in value. You've been seeing them selling like 0.7 ped a box.
I sold mine at 0.69 just for the meme, bro.
That's actually pretty funny.
Yeah. I was like, screw it. I'm not gonna wait half a year.
Yeah.
I mean, but honestly, dude, I wasn't down almost at all for my TT on the Reaper cycle. I think I lost maybe 2k TT to complete Regolite.
Ugh, man, this was a rough mayhem for me. I was in a downward swing. Like towards the tail end of it, it started getting a little bit better, but
Did you get any
I
rares
lost-
this year?
I looted one rare this time, yeah. So
Which
that
category?
was cat 10.
Nice.
I pretty much stayed in cat 10 almost the entire time. I dropped down to cat 9 for a little bit when a buddy of mine was borrowing the BC 120, but outside of that, I just stayed in cat 10.
Nice. Yeah, I got super lucky. Unamped. I mean, I was amped. I wasn't enhanced, but I was in cat 4 and got a rare this year. So now I'm
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
awesome.
yeah, I'm kind of obligated now to grind the M tokens, and I don't know how I feel about it. You know, because it's like, guess I'm doing this, and I'm kind of honestly like debating going for one of the lower positions in Merry Mayhem FFA. It might be a worthwhile investment to go for, to cash in some stars. But
Man,
I don't know.
Like I said earlier, I'm not a gambling person, and you know,
Yeah.
like it's I hate the idea of spending 10, 15, 20,000 ped, or I mean the higher prizes go for 50,
Yeah,
75,000
what was it?
ped.
Rocket and BKK this last year, man. Oh my gosh, did you see that?
Yeah, like
It was
that is
neck and neck.
it's a lot of money, man, and
Yeah,
I don't like blind races.
yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I mean that's how they get you though, right? They give you the one rare and they're like, just grind a little bit more,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you can do it.
I mean, like, I'm putting off the temptation to redeem what I can right now, because I could pull like an amp, and sell an amp for like 15, 20k, whatever,
Yeah,
take my cash while I can. But I'm gonna wait to see what happens on Halloween Regolite. If I get
Yeah.
another rare, I'm like, okay, I'm buckling up for number 3. Oh no!
I died.
You saw it here first, folks. I'll give you a few heals. Let's see if we can math out how much HP you have in those like logs. Okay. Got my homework.
Keep hitting the wrong button. Like I'm forgetting. Like I'm trying to use melee, so I keep hitting my button for my gun.
So are you actively trying to tear up the claw?
Yeah, it's tier 6, man. I tiered it. I cried. I went to bed crying. Woke up crying. And I spent the next day crying after I did tier 6. But now we're going to tier 7. So I mean, it's gonna be slow because like I'm not using it. Like the Great Claw is my like
Secondary? Yeah.
yeah. So it's just kind of. I mean, it's gonna spend a lot of time just sitting in my inventory, being real.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of it. It's just like I'll probably use it more after Twin, and when like I don't feel obligated to be shooting, like actually like shooting / trying.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'll do like some 100% pills on flesh rippers or things like that with it. So, but yeah, I need to start grinding out tier 7 and 8, 9, 10. Actually, I have a bunch of 10 tier 10 components.
That's good.
But,
I mean, like, I think Henrin's also kind of hard to get a hold of right now. I've got a good spot, though, if you need a mining spot for Henrin.
I might take you up on that. Yeah. Yeah, because I think Henrin's that's tier 7, right?
I think so. Around that
Yeah.
ballpark. I remember having Henrin coming up in some of my higher tiers. Also, GMC Gammas on Archimonde should be pretty cool. Some of the higher maturities for like a mixed, like 7, 8, 9 or whatever. I've had pretty good luck on Arcadia stuff before. If you're looking for 7s.
I've heard Arcadia does pretty well.
Yeah,
I
Calmadon.
can't remember.
Yeah. Maybe Yuka.
I don't remember. I was grinding Yuka pretty hard. I don't remember what tier components I was getting on them. There was pretty few far in between.
You gotta hit it on the wave as normal, but it should be a
Yeah.
little bit more common over there.
Dude, talking about wave, nothing was like as blatant of a wave as the skill pills.
Really?
Dude, it was disgusting, like how like easy it was to predict out the wave. Not like predict it out, but like you could like tell when a wave hit, because it was like skill pills would drop for like 30 seconds and then you go like another like 45 minutes to an hour with nothing.
Yeah. Wow. So I mean, like, I think, okay, so if anyone's in chat here and you're on, if you're on Calypso, the easiest way to get experience for waves at like a noob level, go to Orthos Oilfield, kill the prototype drones there, and you will see the waves of weapon drops, like not Apollos, Jesus, Azuros, Rubios, Lance Heads, B101 amps, like you'll see it come in waves. That's what we're talking about whenever you hear someone say waves. And you'll see that trend more and more as you hunt. So, speaking of waves, what's your opinion of them, both me and Boo? Boo, I'll let you go first of what your opinion is. I'm not sure exactly what Gopher's after here. Maybe just like, is it good or bad, or how they work? I mean, there's a lot that we could elaborate on here, to be honest, Gopher.
I'm gonna take it from an angle of good or bad.
Sure, go ahead.
So I think that it's hard. Like, I guess at the end of the day, I'm 50-50, because the important thing to remember is that like the game has to have some form of mechanism that prevents it from being gambling. And I think that is what the wave system does. Is the wave system makes it so
it's a skill-based game and not like a gambling game, right?
Exactly. And I think that's really where like the benefits of waves coming into the game are. With that being said, is I think that they're not necessarily, I don't know, I guess I'm neutral. I don't really see them as a bad thing or a good thing. I appreciate the fact that they keep the game a non-gambling game, and it rewards the individuals who take the time to really understand the wave system. Because like the reality is if you're not actively watching your
HP bar?
your HP bar or your loot window, you're not going to be able to predict the wave. So it rewards people that are actively watching their loot, and they understand how to utilize the waves in their benefit.
Definitely.
There's a lot of unpack there if you're picking up what I'm putting down across the board.
Yeah, no, I was listening. I've also got some distractions coming in. Thank you, Rose, for the cheer. Welcome to the stream. Hit that wave on Arc Underground yesterday. Nice. Good to hear, Eagle Boy. So no more clarification from Gopher. So, he says good or bad. Sorry, I missed that part. So, I tend to agree with Boo that it needs some level of predictability in order to not be a complete, like, gamble game. But also, if you've ever actually tried to define true random, it's kind of impossible to do that, at least programmatically. Like, yes, you can say like randomly select from whatever, but the ways is an elegant way around true random. I don't think we'll ever have that in the game, and people get mad about that. If you've ever seen a noob hit a really big loot, take the biggest all-time high for mining, there is so much animosity towards that person. If it was truly random and you had like a shared loot mob and a level 10 got it with a Barbella, could you imagine the amount of like, insanity that would occur from that? So like, ways exist, it rewards people who pay attention. I'm happy with it. I'm fine with it. Yeah,
you remember like back in the day, maybe this might be like before your time a little bit, but like Joda did like a whole, like the original Joda, did a whole like not exploit, but like stream of like the wave detecting software that they had and all that. It was pretty crazy.
No, I didn't see this.
Yeah, he was like he streamed it for like 24 or 48 hours of him just sitting there. And it like had like a red light, green light, and I think it was like, I can't remember because this was years and years ago, like way before Loot 2.0. And yeah, it was like a red light, green light. And I think what it was is he was in a party and people were hunting, and it was reading the chat logs to like determine a wave. But then that wave system that they were tracking changed.
Yeah. I think that the wave indicators do change, because I was hunting Merp, for example, and I looted a part of Gremlin, and I shouted wave in sock chat, and I'll be damned if a motherfucker didn't open a box and loot a ring, okay? So I'm not saying that it exists, but it exists.
Yeah. Well, I think too, like, I think there's different waves for different things, right? So not
Yeah.
all waves are created equal.
Right, and there's going to be different indications for different wave types, right?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Maverick? How's it going, man? Do you think that it's bad or good how fast the waves are? For the 40 or 50 minutes of downtime between them doesn't feel so good, in my opinion. I mean, if you think about it, like, would you rather loot always be on and the market be saturated with what we need? There's going to be no markup for hunters at that point. Like, you can either have enough of a bankroll to power through all of the waves and not give a fuck, or you can just sit there and wait and actually pick your time that you shoot. So, when I was giving my example earlier, when it comes to the oil rig at Orthos near Camp Icarus with the drone elites, or the drone prototypes, sorry. You can sit there with no amp, very chill, grinding them with a Barbella, and wait until you get a drop, a gun drop. And then once you see that, go full bore, go a little bit bigger, you know, and full send that shit, and capitalize on that time. Then once the wave's off, you go back to chill grind, relax mode, and wait. The same can be done at any level of hunting if you just pay attention. Would you agree, Boo?
Yeah, I think that was very well said. You know, I think it's, again, goes back into it rewards the individuals that actively pay, but pay attention. And the other thing too is that, you know, just like you said, like if the waves are always on or tighter, it's just going to impact the way that markup is distributed in the game.
I mean, as we saw the bell curve sort of shift and increase, where more players were able to handle bigger mobs. I'm talking prior to the introduction of the nanocube change. Spleen oil markup was abysmal compared to when I was just coming into the spleen grind scene a few years back, right? So as the amount of players who are able to grind certain materials increases, the demand goes down, thus the markup will fall. So, same would happen if the waves were more common.
You also have like Moloch instance to kind of blame for that a little bit.
True. But hooray for sweaters. I mean, that's awesome. I'm glad they did that. Like, that was a big thing for a long time. I remember a lot of conversation going around charging sweat to get into an instance. Like, there was also, before this nanocube change, that honestly I didn't even think of, and I'm really happy with it for explosive grinders, was like incorporating sweat into the explosives. But now this actually stimulates everyone in the economy. Miners can now basically recycle oil and list that they're stuck with. You know, it's enforcing a minimum markup on every material. It's phenomenal. Like, before there were certain oils that were below 101. That's insane.
God, dude, I remember. I'll be real, like thyroid oil, all
Yeah,
of that.
I've TT'd pancreas out the ass, man.
Yeah,
you know?
I just TT'd it.
Yeah.
It was not worth my time to try to sell.
And now MindArc's doing a good job of like tightening down on some of these exploits with it. I heard there was like some people on, Cyrene at the hub that were able to exploit recycling there at TTs. There were changes at Rocktropia. There's the vendor right as you're about to go down the stairs in Cyclops Depths to the Pyromancer, right there where Rascom resurrects the Master Guard guy. There was an NPC there that sold the bones and the skulls. He's been removed. And you can still recycle those skulls and bones. And you can fully TT, like, repair them. That's pretty insane. But I'm happy they're cracking down on it, So by the way, if you loot a human skull, make sure that you fully repair it and then you recycle it. Pro tip.
That's good. I didn't know that. That was a good idea.
Yep. Hopefully no one from MindArc's listening of these, 55 viewers that we have in here. But I'm glad to see the change. It's been one of the more, I guess, I would quantify it as a selfless change from MindArc. Because they didn't, I think they kind of lost on this one, if you think about it. Because explosive grinders make a one-time investment, and then they're just playing against the house the whole time. So I was really happy to see it.
I can honestly say I definitely underestimated. I was a naysayer when the whole like nanocube change came out. I was like, man, this is fucking stupid. Like,
we're not gonna see above like 101. Yeah.
I didn't even think we are gonna see above 101, and I'm definitely wrong. Now I am curious to see what the impacts were of it going into like mayhem, and how much of that played a role in it jumping up to like 102, 103%.
Mm-hmm.
But in general, like I've been really happy with it. I definitely chalk it up as a win to MindArc.
Yeah. Actually, Issa brings up a good point. Oh. Pardon me. Got a little bit choked up there. Oh. The house always wins. They still get the listing fees for the nanocubes now as well. So that's a good point.
I would be curious to see though the difference between like how many people stopped like clicking. And data I don't think we could ever actually truly get, but
yeah,
I'd be curious if like the overall clicks though on EP4s has gone down.
I don't know
if it's more of a wash or if there is that kind of profit.
I personally have started to craft more explosives after the change because I wait until I'm gonna give away a little bit here. I wait until after the lower stacks of markup have sold at night when no one's online, and then I post a stack for like 109. And that shit will fucking sell, So that's awesome. When you can sell like a stack of 1,000 ped for like 109. So.
Huh.
I must say I do like the dude's idea of space PvP materials posted on PCF. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Rose. But basically, you can get away with selling explosives for a higher markup if you wait for a good time to post them on auction, because of the gamblers who are doing recycle still.
Yeah, I definitely think it hurts like rocket launchers already. Like, it definitely like rockets are already like not the best weapon for hunting, and now not only are they
right?
Yeah, well, yeah, and not only are they now like a horrible weapon for hunting with, but also you have to pay 109% markup for to even shoot the fucking thing. So like literally just shooting rockets, you're losing 15%.
I mean, that's markup on some limited weapons. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't see some of our matrices even reaching 108%, 109%. And that's just the ammo that you're shooting.
Yeah.
So. I think Hammer and Sickle even brought up on PCF recently, about it, because Hammer's also grinding with like a exterminator mixed in with his daily grind. And
Yeah.
I know Hijacker spoke up, and Hijacker's been one of the more longer term Rocket users as well. I think he's one of the more qualified people to actually speak on the subject, to be honest. But I think it definitely needs some attention. You know, like, I mean, the target demographic isn't as narrow as I think MindArc really anticipated here, because not only are you now impacting the crafters or the gambler crafters, you're now impacting the people like, you know, the average everyday players who use rockets, you know. So maybe there will be some adjustments coming in the future, I don't know. Maybe we see some introduction of the ability to recycle some of the residue materials. We'll see. I think animal oil residue would be okay to be included, because you actually have to, you know, shoot a gun to get that, but that's just me.
Isn't there something to do with you can get it back from crafting or some shit, and that's why?
Okay, so if metal residue comes back, but you can also fill a item with residue. So when you craft an unlimited item, there's two ways to go about this, okay? So you could either craft an unlimited item and repair it with your pet on card to get it back and then recycle it, right? Which would be the way to go. And then sell the residue for 101%. That's the most markup gained. The other option would be to consume the residue into the item that you're crafting and then recycle that item, which wouldn't yield you as much, but is still viable. So the metal residue retains its markup because of the limited items that it's consumed to make full TT. That's the only reason at this point.
Okay.
So I've already looked at all the blueprints. There's no real blueprints that are really able to be gone after, except for some of the like higher TT scopes, which you can already see a few buy orders going out for, and like a few posts and stuff going out in chats and stuff. But people are catching on to that idea around the same time that I was, actually. But the markup that you pay to craft that scope is going to be more than you would net from just paying the markup for a nanocube. You know what I mean? So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get you get to being like really min-max with it. So yeah.
You know, funny enough, like crafting is like one of the one things in the game I stay away from. Like I've recently started crafting damage enhancers just to help with like my markup, but outside of damage enhancers, I fucking stay away from crafting with like a 10-foot pole. Like I do not make enough money to craft in this game.
How many years have rockets been broken? Oh man, I have no idea. Will, no idea, man. It's been longer than I've been in the game, I think.
How long have rockets been in the game?
No, been
Probably
broken.
Since then. I know. How long have rockets been in the game? Been broken ever since they came in.
The rocket bug Hammer is trying to get MindArc to fix. Honestly, bullshit. How they haven't fixed it yet. You can shoot the rocket and lose ammo without it doing damage sometimes. Dude, that's honestly what they've been moving away from, historically speaking. So they've removed the missed shots in PvP. They've removed the missed shots in space. So, but how do you, I mean, like, it's fucked. The whole rocket thing is fucked. Like, and he also brought up like 4 problems at once in his post in like one run-on sentence. So I was confused even reading it for the first 3 times I tried to read it. But I'm not trying to take a poke at him or anything. I'm just saying, like, there was a lot that he tried to cover in like one little poll and like one post. Oh, we got a spawn on us. So while I agree that the hitbox needs to be addressed, there's a lot, I think, of limitations with the engine that we're just not seeing, right? Because if an explosive projectile detonates on a surface and it has like a plane, if you think of it like as a 2D plane, it's not going to be 3-dimensional, right? It's not going to be up and down. It's going to be on that like y-axis, right? Or sorry, x-axis? Yeah, y is up. So it's got to be hard. They can't quite figure it out. Maybe it's an engine limitation. I'm not making excuses for them. If they wanted to make a statement, they could. But
I just think rockets are such like let's be real. There's like what, maybe 50 rockets in the game, like unlimited rockets, if that.
yeah,
And it's just such low hanging, like not low hanging fruit, but it's so like has so little impact to the game that I just don't think it's worth their resources
yeah,
to fix. Like, I mean, I'm thinking about it if from like me as if I was a business owner and I've got 100 other things that need to be fixed.
that are urgent.
Rocket,
Yeah,
rockets, like the return on investment of putting manpower towards fixing that issue, I'm gonna make one person smile. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much more, like much more impact that an individual could have by focusing resources in a different spot. It's just the unfortunate reality, kind of where we sit with rockets.
yeah. And I mean, rockets are kind of like a corner topic within a bigger topic, in my opinion, because it's really prevalent. Again, sorry to bring it back up, but the PvP community. And the PvP community has been kind of neglected in the past because, yes, they're aware of the issues and bugs with PvP, but it's not a big part of the community. It's not part of the bigger picture, going back to what you said, right? So,
Yeah.
this doesn't really get attention. So, my chip's about to break, by the way.
I know all my weapons are getting pretty low. I should actually repair.
I mean, we can call it. It's up to you.
I should probably waste all the time. I have a early morning soccer game for my daughter.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, slowly getting her suckered into it. She actually really enjoys soccer, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Last chance to get questions into to Boo here is what I'm sensing. So, you guys got them, post them up, and we'll try to get them answered.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm pretty open book, so.
This one here. This is gonna be our 10K IMK2 twin.
Yeah.
His post was an idea of, imagine has been said before, an actual PvP area in space. Very rare loot, certain space items. I'm not sure the post that you're referring to there, Rez, but I'd love to read it if you got the link to it. Right. Oh, the stream's still going. We'll go to the after party after Boo leaves. I find it ironic, rockets and bugs, but they had also mass amount of people craft explosives, and yet, I mean, yeah. I guess it's just stipulation or speculation rather. So. Fixing them would be a boon to the EP marketplace. That and adding more unlimited rocket launchers, I guess. There's not much of a rocket market to begin with. I think most of the explosive ammunition is consumed in crafting.
Yeah.
Yeah. By large quantities. So. Wait, what? What are y'all talking about? I'm so behind on chat. Drainy, thank you for the raid for 20 people. Wow. I hope you had a great stream, man. Welcome to the interview with Boo Hoo You. We are nearing the end of the interview. I believe Boo has an early morning for his daughter's soccer game in the morning. But if you have questions, he is here in chat. Also, you can look below. There is a Discord icon with a Discord link invite to my Discord server. He is open to PMs and questions, and he will be happy to answer them offline as well.
Yeah, Discord, best way to get a hold of me, and always willing to help out, be that with questions, advice, trades, advice, looking for stuff, anything. Just always feel free to hit me up.
Oh, we're getting swarmed. Oh no.
How's it feel? Oh yeah, I forever have a piece of Maverick with me. He sold me his HP cloak. I don't have it on right now, but
Oh. Oh fuck.
yeah.
All right, we're dead. There's like
No,
4
I'm
here.
pulling up. I got him. I got him.
Save me, daddy DPS.
Yeah. So he sold me his cloak. So yeah, I forever have his cloak.
Nice. I
in
need
my
to, I need to
inventory.
purchase a memoir from Maverick before he cashes out completely.
Yeah, I mean we'll sucker him back into the game.
Oh yeah, we'll get him back. We'll get him back. After that house down payment is paid.
Yeah.
He'll be back. Yeah, he'll be back.
Yeah. Nobody ever really leaves EU.
It's like Hotel California, you know? So,
This guy's still on you?
yeah. New York Rose, let me get you the roll assigned. There we go. Cool. What's up, P-Graph? How's it going, man? I am behind on chat and I'm aware. Congrats on the, I don't know how to pronounce that armor. On the, chlamydia armor. Like, you know the one that I'm talking about, don't you, Vu? The one that drops from the fucking face Quran?
Yeah.
Congrats, Strainy. Hey, Boo, how does it feel holding my... Oh, you already answered that one. You gross name? Who has a gross name?
Oh no.
Chlamydia. Yeah. Oh, Boo, no! The DPS god has fallen. Oh, no, I have fallen as well. Oh, dear. I do say, good sir. This is quite unfortunate.
I mean, on the bright side, I can repair my gear now.
Yeah, true. No, we're not going longer. We're done.
No, I know. But I am gonna go kill what we started.
Whiskey Mongoose, thank you for the follow.
I got crit. That's. Oh damn.
Blame it on the crit. Yeah.
I can't blame it on crit because it was 5.4 damage.
Oh no! Oh man. I have been actually killed by my Tesla pet more than I would like to admit. Like,
dude, me too.
Really?
Yeah, man, I'll spot it. I'll go like stand at auction house.
And you had the buff?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, because it's so infrequent that I use the HP buff on that.
I
Tesla
forgot
pet.
to repair my shit. Oh no.
On the bright side, I can use my claw now. So like 90% of the time I use my Tesla pet, it's on the critical damage increase.
Yeah.
And so it kills me like a lot more than I care to admit.
Yeah. That sucks. Most of mine's been in PvP because I love the Tesla pet plus the electrotherapy plus the perfected haddock. That shit's amazing. It's like one click back up to full HP, you know?
Yeah, at that point you could only die at a crit, right? Basically.
Unless
three people shooting at the same
unless
time.
they're like, you know, hitting for something completely off my damage protection, right? So 'cause I'm not a big HP guy. Like I'm only just now reaching like 344. So
Okay.
oh, we're out of here. All right, let's go.
Yeah, I figure it's I got hang out for a few more minutes, but I'll start wrapping up here.
All right, let's see. I'm gonna check chat to see. I'm gonna break up the team.
Okay.
Let me scan the chat real quick.
Yeah, make sure no more questions came in.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Perfect. Make it easy.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
good. I think we're good.
I wish you could queue in crafting. So I'm gonna go do some crafting enhancers
Like
right
queue up
now.
a different blueprint.
Yeah, it'd be
Well,
nice.
you
Like if I
mentioned
could
a crafting overhaul before.
I mean, yeah, tie that into the crafting overhaul.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be nice. So I don't want to be locked in on like EP1s the whole night, you know.
Well, like, you know, like perfect example, right? So I'm gonna go down and craft some damage enhancers, but you know, I don't want to, you know, like I would like to craft, you know, 1 through 9. I can't craft 10. One day I'll be skilled, but you know, I'd like to craft a little bit of like 1 through 9 and not have to like, you know, in an hour come back and reset my guy to craft the next one.
Right, right. Oh, I missed Will's question. Oh no. All right, hang on. Hang on, before you go. I am looking so hard for this. Where the hell? Oh, how many years have rockets been broken? No, we've already talked about that. I mean, there's no answer. We don't know. Do you know how many years rockets have been broken? I think the response that we got from Boo was however long they've been in the game.
Yeah, I think it's basically however long they begin in the game.
Question, a real one this time. What is your prediction for the upcoming future of Entropia, both for Vandal and for Boo?
You want to go first on this one, or you want me to?
Yeah, I'll take this one. As I walk into this storage area, I think that the future of Entropia can be predicted with historical information. So we have seen a trend of improvement from development. We have seen a increase of newer players, albeit short-lived from the COVID pandemic. But people are sticking around, and it's becoming hopefully more accessible with more items being dropped in Twin. As I'm sure we've already covered tonight before, we're hopeful that things will become more accessible to more players who can become more successful in the game. But I think it will stick around for a while. I'm hopeful for the engine upgrade. I hope that it will help get Mindark past a few of the problems with the engine they currently have, and that we'll see the benefits from that. I can pass it to you, Boo, if you want to take it.
Yeah, I'm actually really hopeful for the future. Like, I think that we've seen some good work from some of the planet partners, be that like Cyrene has been really killing it. Next Island's done some good stuff. Toulon is really active and is a great planet for newer players. And I'm really looking forward to Unreal. I mean, it's the only reason why I'm as invested in the game still as I am, and I continue to push the progression of my avatar, is because I do see a very bright future for EU. As we continue to bring in new players, continue to lower the cost of entry, I'm looking forward to it.
Definitely.
But on that note, again, I really appreciate you having me on today. It's been an absolute blast. Your community is amazing, and it was a lot of fun. I had a good time.
Yeah, man. Well, I really appreciate your time and taking the time to be on here. I hope to have more people in the future. If you know anybody, send them my way if they're interested in either the interview process or just a chat on. I mean, I can make it as lax as they need it. So I definitely appreciate the time and to learn a little bit more about you and to get the insight from you that I did. So hopefully that everyone here was able to get something from it as well. So thanks again, man. Really appreciate it.
Cheers. Have a great night, everyone, and I will catch you on the flip side.
See you, Boo.